space, because of how we know how the Twitter spaces are, you can always catch it on YouTube, y'all. So we plan on having us a nice discussion. Let me give a shout out to Ray, Moses, Doris, Crook, Black, Chalk, Terrell. We're gonna start this up shortly, y'all. We're just giving people a chance to come in, and yeah, you can see what the title of the actual room is tonight. So yeah, it's gonna be going down. We plan on having us a nice little dialogue, nice little conversation. Everybody that's in the space tonight, please go ahead and tweet out the space. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put the actual article that I got this idea from, this topic tonight, so you guys can go ahead and you can click the actual link that's going to be placed up in the Jumbotron. You can go ahead and read the article whenever you guys get a chance. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in the actual Jumbotron. Just give me 1 second. And you guys get a chance, you can actually read the actual article as well too. And the actual article actually was back from 2018, but I felt it would make a nice discussion, a nice room around it. So I wanted to go ahead and create some dialogue and talk about that tonight. I didn't actually print the article up, so I'm actually go to the website. It was also curated on the Newstoter.com platform. I generally like to have the actual articles written up, printed already, so I don't have to stroll on that little writing and keep going back and forth and trying to get past the advertisement and all that. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna still do what we got to do, and we're gonna have us a really nice space tonight. So Ray, let me go ahead and make you a co-host. And Ray, if you have any issues tonight, bro, please go ahead and use that web browser to go ahead and get into the actual room, because I know the past few Twitter spaces you've been having some issues with it. And for anybody that's having issues, one of the best ways is actually get off the app, go to a web browser, Chrome, Firefox, whatever, and actually get on Twitter that way and join the spaces. It seems to have less issues in the actual app itself. So that's just a little heads up for you guys right there. So I see professors coming up in the space. Like I said, we're gonna have us a nice little dialogue. I just want to touch up on this one article, but if anybody wants to go ahead, you know what I'm saying? I will go ahead and definitely let you go ahead and get some words in or whatever before we actually start. Peace to you, Professor 100K, Simply True, Moses. Like I said tonight, y'all, just go ahead and say how you feel, let it be known or whatever. And are Black Americans too forgiving? That's what it all boils down to. So I want to hear the Black male perspective. I want to hear the Black woman's perspective. I want to hear from, if there's any baby boomers in the room, I want to hear their perspective. If it's any Generation X, millennials, Gen Z, please, by all means, come on up and say what you feel. Go ahead and put your soul into it and let us know exactly how you feel about it. Hey, are we too forgiving, or we're not too forgiving enough that we need to go ahead and turn the cheek even more? Ray, what's going on?
I think you already know what I'm about to say. Absolutely, we are too forgiving, but it's just in our nature that we're just very forgiving. Another thing too, just because I say this, for a while myself, I always seen other people that was quote unquote minorities. We at one point in my time, I saw them as supposed to be our allies. I really did. I was like, well, hey, I'm Black, you're Jamaican. Hey, man, let's try to work together and get stuff done. But then, the older you get, the more wiser you get, you start to realize that these people are only here for their own best self-interest. They don't care about you. They use you. Get over here and get what they need, but they don't truly care about you. And we're just too forgiving about everything. We still want to believe that these people that have mistreated us for 400 damn years, any day now, are going to have a change of heart. It's just not going to happen. And I land right there.
Definitely. Professor, what's going on? Professor, before I go ahead and get to you, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to touch on this article just to go ahead and get the conversation flowing. For those who come in, they can always join in. Like I say, if you've never been in the Newstoter Twitter space before, all you got to do is just request the mic, put your hand up, and you can come up and speak. I want to go ahead and get the ball rolling so everybody can kind of just gather where we're coming from. I know everybody already has their point of view of how they feel about things and this and that. So, like I say, I want to hear a lot of free flowing ideas tonight. I want to hear people just speaking from the heart, letting us know how they feel and whatnot. And by all means, like I say, I appreciate everybody that came in the space. Please, I see there's not a whole bunch of people tweeting out the space either. So help us by tweeting out the space. That's free. Just go ahead and tweet out the space. It's that easy. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna touch up on this actual article real quick, And it's from the blackdetour.com, and it says, are black people too forgiving? Like I say, this article is actually curated on newstoter.com platform. The article is actually from August 27, 2018, but it still rings a bell today. It says, of course, are black people too forgiving? Unless you've been living under a rock, the marginalization of black people has been a constant reminder that we're treated like second-class citizens in America. With the various obstacles black people have had to endure in this country, from slavery, black codes, Jim Crow laws, discrimination in the housing market, and the inability to vote and have full rights under the law. Not to mention how they kept us from gaining and passing wealth down our families. With all the trauma black people have faced over 300 plus year period, many people would suspect black people would have resentment towards America and their oppressors. Let me scroll down. Like I said, I'm reading this straight off the article. I didn't actually print this one up tonight. The question of are black people too forgiving is an interesting dynamic to examine. When we take a look at history, it is easy to name several atrocities that have been rendered against black people. From the obvious 246 plus years of slavery, black codes, Jim Crow laws, mass incarceration, to acts of violence we had to endure during the civil rights movement, just to gain some of our rights. Part of this is to highlight just a few pains that we had to encounter in America, not to mention all the mental and health issues that often go unnoticed that we suffered as part of everything we've been through. Although we suffered a great pain as a collective, we've always found forgiveness in our hearts. Maybe because of religion, maybe because we're naturally a forgiving people, or maybe because we've been trained since slavery to accept being at the bottom of the totem pole, and subconsciously we accept that. Many skeptics of forgiveness go back to the civil rights era, where it was well documented that our people were brutalized by police, the KKK, local citizens, and some state governments played a role as well. However, history has portrayed this era as the only publicized way we fought back was protesting, boycotting, singing, and praying for better days. This concept always seemed to lead with a forgiving or Jesus complex, disseminating message that we should forgive the oppressor because this is the only way we can overcome. Piggybacking to today, when we see black men and women killed by the police on a daily basis, now we're seeing a surge in white people calling police on black people just for living in most cases. Black people who played a major role in America by believing in the dream of America, even when the dream was not a reality for black people. One of the realities of the majority of black people face is a realization that yes, America sucks, and there's various obstacles set in place to stop you from being even somewhat successful in America in terms of success. However, many of us have adopted the ideology that we have no option but to migrate this sea of discrimination, systematic racism, mass incarceration, and miseducation to make a way for ourselves in America. The mainstream media doesn't help with this narrative, usually asking families of black people who are victims of tragic crimes, have you forgave yet? As if it's a prerequisite for the black victims is to automatically forgive. Forgiveness has seemingly become a requirement for black America. We're expected to grieve and forgive at the same time, just as parents and the loved ones of Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis, Mike Brown, Eric Garner, and many others are all asked in interviews if they forgive the men who killed their loved one. In an article published on the Salt Collective by Ulysses Burley III, proper forgiveness is like oppression. It requires that both be liberated in order to experience prophetic relief. Whereas with oppression and the one in need of liberation is obviously the one being pinned down, with the oppressor being unlikely candidate in need of freedom as well. The inverse is true for black forgiveness. Black forgiveness liberates the oppressor without also freeing ourselves from confines of anger and resentment. Black forgiveness allows the oppressor to let up, but we don't get up continuing to be pinned to the ground by pathetic grief. In the end, I believe that we have to stop waiting for America to love and accept us. For far too long, we waited on America to give us equality and truly accept us. However, we waited, protested, boycotted, and forgave for us to still get slapped in the face again and again, not to mention the wealth gap in America. Other than giving our oppressor a good piece of our mind that what they're doing to us really is wrong or needs to stop, this system has systematically kept us from wealth, housing, jobs, quality education, ensuring that we're at the bottom of every statistical category that classifies success in America. Alrighty. Professor. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to it. Let you go ahead and get to it. Go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much, there, brother. Thank you very much, Newstoter and Ray and DJ. I see you up in here. I see you finally made it, brother. Good to see you up in here. I see Diz up in here. I see Patricia. Shoot, I see quite a few of y'all up in here, man. I'm glad to see everybody up in here, man, because we all about trying to get these reparations, and we are going to get it. But these folks are going to stand in our way at every moment and every chance that they can get. They're going to try to block us. They're going to try to find ways to take us out. They're going to have all kinds of stumbling blocks. And this is what has been for us in America since the first slaves arrived off them damn ships. Okay? So we already know what we are in for, and I hate to say it, we still got some of our people that want to assimilate, I guess is the better term, with these people. They want to be down with them. They want to lay down with them. They want to be all buddies with them. But these are the same people, no matter what, they can sleep with you, they can party with you, but they still don't want you to get ahead. They don't want you to be equal. And we are too forgiving. Y'all, I tell you what bothers me. I go back through some of these videos, and I look at that video, the one where Brother Bottom, I think it was in Houston, or maybe it was in Dallas. He was shot by the police officer, and I just go back to that video of the family hugging or trying to be forgiven in the courtroom. And then the black judge goes and hugs this police officer that killed him. I don't understand our nature to always want to forgive these people. I don't understand it because they've been doing all kinds of nastiness to us for years. They've been slamming on us for years. They've been putting stumbling blocks in front of us to keep us from just the basic necessities that we have to have in America to live. They want to keep us away from that. Then they got this illegal immigration. They're bringing in all these illegal immigrants to try to take us out, to remove us from existence here. The land that we built, the country that we built, everybody. We have to stop forgiving these folks. I can't forgive anymore. The time is out for that. You have been stumping on us for too long. And now it's time for us to come for you the way you've been playing with us for years mentally. We got to come back at you now. We can't do all this forgiveness bullshit anymore. And these coon black folks that's still out here trying to stomp for these damn white folks like Candace Owens, we got to get them out the way too. We can't forgive them neither. Candace Owens, we can't forgive her. That's right, folks. We cannot forgive her. Yeah, she might be a sister, but we can't forgive her because she been out there stomping for the damn white supremacists. That's right. She's out there leading the platform for them. They still got a white husband. And they're going to sit there and tell us that we don't have to be worried about white supremacy. We got to be worried about each other. The problems that are going on in the black community is us. That's right. She said, forget the white supremacy. We got to be worried about what we doing to each other. So there you go, folks. We got these coon black folks, and then we got the white supremacists, and then we got these immigrants. We just got all the enemies all just coming at us, man, at one time. So what y'all want to do, my people? Do y'all want to keep forgiving? Tell me what you think, because I know I don't want to. I'm going to land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter.
No problem. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic. I see you got your hand up.
Newstoter, thanks for the space for having me on. Um, Great conversation. Had a long day. Are Black Americans too forgiving? Not the entire, but I will say this: many Black people are way over the top too forgiving because most Black people are more aligned with the church or socio topics, and this makes Black people weak. I work in corporate America. When I come across Black people with investments or lawyers, these are some of the most cutthroat, unforgiving, unbashful people, and they get their way through society. Look, I don't agree with what with wearing White Lives Matter shirt, uh, let alone promoting that. I think what most Black people fail to see, because which is so emotional, a lot of us fail to see that this guy was trolling Black Lives Matter because they were a convert. We failed to see that. We failed to see that. And we also failed to see when he was on Piers Morgan, he said, "No, I'm not here to apologize." But because he's a businessman, he had to word everything in a way so he could get his shekels and walk off the stage. We have to stop being an emotional people. It's very important. We spend too much time kumbaya, wade in the water, talking about social topics. Nobody is talking about business, investment. That mentality will make you collectively will make you unbashfully unforgiving. Look, I was just in a prior to coming on this. Well, I was in another space that Twitter just did not want me to speak. I'd be going in, but prior to that space, I was in the finance space. We're talking about stocks, what we sold today, what we lost, and the majority of the group are FBAs in finance. They're making $6K a day or whatever. And some of these people, man, when they're talking to other white people, and I'm not saying this, you should talk to white folks like this, but when they're talking to white folks that are coming out of pocket, they are so just unforgiving and very articulate with their unforgiveness, and they shut the room. We have wasted our time being so emotional. We complain about everything. No one is talking about making money. Nobody is talking about making money. And this is making, collectively, is making the sphere of the Black deity very weak. Because when you ain't got the bucks, you're just going to be complaining. But when you start when you're on the come up, when you're well off, you don't really have to complain. All you do is kick ass. I think too many of us are complaining and we're doing less kicking ass. We should be kicking ass, okay? We should be kicking ass. I tell you what, you can't cancel, and I'm not advocating for this guy. I'm not advocating for content, but you can't cancel a man like that because you know why? He figured it out. All right, you know what? I have to have my own platform. I have to have the money, and I have to make sure I am unapologetic about what I am saying.
Hey, wait a minute, brother. I got
Wait a minute. Y'all already know the score. So please, and I've told y'all before, don't come off the mic. Let the person finish. Moses is finna get ready to unpack. Then whoever wants to go ahead and raise your hand. That way it lets the room flow better. So just go ahead, let him go ahead and unpack. Then you can go ahead and raise your hand and you can challenge what the brother says. It's obvious he's talking about business here or whatever. Come up and rebuttal against whatever he's saying. So, Professor, you got your hand up. Please, y'all, let's show some decorum and some discipline tonight. Go ahead, Moses.
I will make this quick. Thank you very much, Sean. I will make this quick. Which one should I use first? Okay, you know what? I'll use the company I worked for previously in biotech. It's owned by a black guy, Black American. He's from Georgia, but he's up here in Boston. You know what? This guy No VCs wanted to help him. Nothing. So you know what he did? He said, you know what? If these guys actually do help me, I'm going to end up being at their mercy. So he just collected everything he could collect. He used the black grassroots to collect money. He started his lab, and you know what? Now he, because he's been getting contracts, now he's a full-length biotech company in Massachusetts. And you know, I was talking to him, and he told me, you know what, Dan? Let me tell you something. Being black American in America, you have to look forward, and you have to keep your mouth shut, and you have to be unforgiving. You have to be selfish. You have to always obtain knowledge. Always obtain knowledge. And he told me one thing I won't forget. He said, don't waste your time with people that are always complaining and never producing. Because that will weaken the core. All right? And now here's another example. My younger brother.
Okay, Moses, go ahead and let's go ahead and wrap it up too.
I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
My younger brother, all right?
Yeah, nigga, hurry up and wrap this shit up.
I'm going to wrap it up, man.
Hey, Professor, man. I mean, now you up in the Newstoter space all the time, brother. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, show the space some respect. Me and you, we've had plenty interesting dialogues. We talk like men and whatnot. Don't do that again, brother. Please. I asked you, and I've asked you that before when people speak. Don't just come in there and just rudely interrupt somebody. Go ahead and let the man finish, and then you can go ahead. You got your hand up. He's going to get ready to go, because if he doesn't get ready to go ahead and unwrap it, I'm going to unwrap it for him. But please not do that again, brother. I'm asking you nicely. You've been in I don't know how many spaces. You know we try to go ahead and keep things flowing and whatnot. You always get a chance to speak. Let him go ahead and speak. A lot of times in the spaces, people don't agree with each other, but there's no point in cutting somebody off. It's not even that serious. It's not life or death. Let him go ahead and finish his because this is his opinion. Like all of us, this is all of our opinions. There's no fact on this. This is opinion-based space right here. Let the brother go ahead and finish his space. Go ahead and finish his 2 cents, and then go ahead and refute it. Moses, I'm going to give you 40 seconds.
Thank you very much. You know, you can learn a lot from me. I'm well over 6 figures, and I handle billions of dollars. I shake hands with movers and shakers. My younger brother, during the pandemic, he got laid off from the real estate company he was working for. You know what he decided to do? He partnered up with a successful Black American, and they put their money. You know what? He was doing pro bono work, just in real estate. They did a portfolio. Now they have 4 complexes. And you know what? He did it by being selfish, unapologetic, and being business forward. If you're going to waste your time complaining, man, you better also kick ass and get some money, because that will make you have a platform and a voice that people can't stop and can't cancel. I land, all right? You can learn a lot from me. Thank you very much for this talk.
All right, Professor. Professor, now I know you don't want anybody cutting you off and jumping in, brother. So, like, I mean, just know what I'm saying. Me and you, we cool and whatnot. But as I'm hosting this space, I really don't appreciate that. Me, DJ Ray, we've asked people numerous times to go ahead and let somebody finish. I know that you're an intelligent brother. I know you have discipline. I know you have. I believe you have a level of respect for the host and the co-host up in the space as well. So even if you can't stand somebody, you can at least let that person finish, so you can go ahead and give your own insightful diatribe. So, I mean, brother, go ahead and unmute your mic, man. And like I say, tonight, let's show some discipline up in here. Because I mean, we even have people in the comment section like, damn, what's going on? Like, maybe it's time to, start taking people's speaking privileges away.
Yeah, thank you, Newstoter, man. My apologies to you and Ray and DJ, man, and everybody in the space. The reason why I was getting upset, y'all, I'm just going to tell it like it is. This brother is talking down to us. Now, I'm sick of these goddamn Negroes, coon Negroes like that one right there, Moses, that's talking down to us like we ain't shit. Negro, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss, but...
Professor, just go ahead, bro. It's not, like I said, it's not that serious. Like, let's just go ahead. I mean, show everybody. I mean, go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying, get to your point. I know you heated and whatnot. It's not that serious. You know, you got free reign to go ahead and speak your mind, man. Let's just try to keep it. Let's just try to keep it as respectful as possible. I can see if somebody calls you out, it calls you out a name, you responding. But you know, as much as you didn't agree with what he said, he didn't disrespect you. So let's just go ahead and try to show each other a level of respect up in the space, please. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, I understand that about the respect thing, man, but he was talking down to us, man. We're talking about we complainers, that we complain too much. Dude, we in the fight of our lives, man, in a system that is here to hold us back. It's a system that has been designed to keep us down, man. We don't have to complain about anything. We see it every day. We see it every day. We feel it, man. And you sitting here talking down to us about we complain too much. This is why I was getting upset, man, because you making it sound like that we ain't out here trying to fight against this every day, trying to do what we can to make it out here every day, to work and try to make a living the honest way, man. Black Americans are some of the most honest people in the world, man. We've been for a long time. We have for a long time trying to do what's right. And we always have tried to do what's right by other people. We have always looked out for other people. You coming up here with this crap that you just said about we complain all the time. We're talking about a system that has been holding us back. White supremacy. There's nothing right there to complain about, man. That's a truth. That's a reality. That's the reality, Moses. Now, I apologize to you for getting all upset and saying what I said, but you coming in here trying to make it sound like, man, that Black Americans don't fight every day in this country, man, to try to get up and work every day and bring food to our families, try to get out here and make this money. We all about business, man. Black Americans have always been about business, man, but hell, we can't get business if you got a system that's trying to block you from getting business. Now, it's a few Black Americans that'll make it, but majority of us are probably not going to get to the next level, man, because the system is designed to try to make sure that we stay at the bottom. They feel threatened by us, brother. White folks don't want us getting ahead, man. You know that. Why are you coming in here talking down to us with this about us? We complaining all the time. I land my plane up.
All right, let me go to Patricia. Patricia, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, good evening. Thank you, Newstoter, Ray, and WPI for letting me speak. Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Okay. So are Black Americans too forgiving? Okay. So looking at that title, I think about my grandmother telling me and my sister that, you know what, child, you got soul. You know, from listening to the 70s and soul brother number one. The thing about Black people and their soul is, like the brother was saying, it results back to the church. You know, those that believe Jesus Christ died on the cross, and Jesus was on the cross, and he said, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. I know in the church that I grew up in, it was, I want to be like Jesus. I'm trying to be like Jesus. You know, I'm trying to do what's right and forgive those. And I think, you know, that whole thing that does stem from the church, I think that has been embedded in us as well. And for us to just be like, oh, we go and forgive. Now, this is 2022, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm raised like that, oh, forgive, but like I think times are changing. I think the majority of us are so-called woke, and I think it is time for us to be more or less selfish and just really start caring for ourselves, our people, because, you know, this is why this reparations thing is so different. You know, this is a different time, and it's a common thing. So I think, you know, with this whole forgiveness thing, I think we're turning the tide, but I also think that that other folks could kind of learn some stuff from us too, because we've been good. This also stems from us caping for everybody. We cape for everything and everybody because we take everything to the heart. Everything's so forgiving. Oh no, we just couldn't believe that some other people from other races had names for us. No, because we fought for them, and white person, he ain't gonna never get away with it because God got our back. He gonna get us, and So to your, the title of the room. That's just my feelings on that, and I land.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. We're gonna go to the line of speakers. We're gonna go. We got T Banks with his hand up.
May I respond, please?
Moses, I'm gonna get to you because you went for a while, so you're gonna have to wait, brother. We got T Banks, then we got Wakanda Warrior, then we got Reg Rock, and then we'll go to you, Moses.
Don't forget Excel.
Excel, did you have? I didn't see your hand up, brother. You gotta put that hand up. But we can fit you in there. But please, if you want to speak, it's one thing. People sometimes come up request the mic to speak, but they don't put their hands up. So please go ahead and Excel, we'll get you in there too. We want to get all the people that haven't had a chance to speak yet. We'll get to you, Moses, as well too. So I'm asking everybody up in the space to go ahead. Do not come off your mic when somebody's speaking. If you have an issue with that person that's speaking, wait till they finish. Then you can go ahead and you can without question go ahead and get on the mic and you can go ahead and rebuttal and you can respond or whatever. I'm asking people not to come off their mic and interrupt somebody while they're speaking. So everybody, let's go ahead and show a little bit of discipline tonight. Don't want to have go back and forth. I assume everybody in this space is a grown person. We don't need to. We're not here to babysit. We here to dialogue. We here to go ahead and conversate, and that's it. It's not that serious. It's a space. We're having dialogue. Let's go ahead and show some discipline tonight, everybody. So I'm just saying that right now. Don't want to go back and forth telling people not to unmute the mic because I'm going to start dropping people down to listeners. I'm just being real here because I'm not having it tonight. I don't feel like hearing all of that. We can go ahead and we can speak. I respect the people in this space, respect the host, respect the Newstoter platform, the largest curator of Black news a day in America. Let's go ahead and let's get this thing rocking. T Banks, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing, man?
What's up now?
Man, I saw the time, and it's like that right there. Are Black Americans too forgiving? And I'm gonna say absolutely. The reason why I say that is because when we can sit in a school system, okay, that teaches and shows us exactly what these people think of us. Regardless if they have a system that was built against us to sit back and become submissive to your captors, and that's that Stockholm syndrome. And I feel like that's what us as a people, we've almost, it's been passed down through the DNA, which has made us entirely too forgiving. Look at the Haiti Revolution. They won't forgive it. They said, no, we will not stand for this. Period. We are in a nation to where we can assemble in a peaceful manner, massively, if we want our voices heard. We can do this on a daily basis if we really want change. But we're too forgiving. We're too quick to say, okay, well, wait, even though that didn't work, let me go ahead and turn on TV, watch the game. Let me go get a Michael Kors. Let me go ahead and spend money with this, instead of actually working on the group economics that everybody knows would propel us forward. It's the fact that we all know these things, but we don't want to move because we know that this system was built against us. Yeah, everything was built against us. That don't mean you don't fight. So at the end of the day, yes, Black Americans are entirely too forgiving. We got to eventually put our foot down and say, look, we're going to make a change, because when other immigrants can come into this country and make changes for themselves, but we've been here and are the backbone of this country, and we can't make no changes, there's a problem. And we can't look on the outside for the blame. We have to look on the inside.
All right, brother. I appreciate that. I see you not following Newstoter, so you may want to go ahead and follow Newstoter when you get opportunity, because Newstoter is the largest black-owned news curation platform today in America. So if you get a chance, brother T Banks, go ahead and follow. Keep you up to date on what's going on here in Black America, and not only Black America, but the world and America and at large. So please, you get a chance, brother, definitely go ahead and follow us. Wakandan Warrior, go ahead and unmute your mic. Also, guys, up in the Jumbotron, the actual article, like I say, it's up in the Jumbotron on the far right-hand side. You guys can click the actual article and you can read the actual article in its entirety, even though I read it. In case you want to read up on it, you can go ahead and read it. It'll take you to Newstoter, and it'll take you to the actual main page for the article. So definitely go ahead and check it out as much as possible. Also, in the Jumbotron is the actual YouTube channel and the newsletter. I keep saying that. I need you guys to go ahead and sign up for that actual to go ahead and become subscribers on the actual YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the newsletter. Also, and if you can, support us on Cash App. That is $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. I want to give a shout out to my girl Tony. That's up in the actual that's up in the space today. What's up, Tony? Let me go ahead and go to Wakanda. Wakanda, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, thank you, brother. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the issue. I do not mind forgiveness. I believe it is a good principle to abide by. But for one, you must be consistent. Brother Tariq Nasheed, who many of you know, the other night when he was speaking on Kanye West, he said you can forgive individuals, but what he sees a lot of the time is individuals who forgive a white person or an anti-black racist. But when it comes to forgiving members of their own community, which is anti-Semitic, or he has said bad things about white people, something to that effect. So if you're going to forgive one person, you're going to forgive an anti-black racist or former anti-black racist, you must also forgive other individuals should they show repentance. Secondly, you can forgive, you can accept someone's apology if they are sincere, but you should not back down. You should not forgive and then say, we do not need tangibles, we do not need reparations. You must continue your course of action, continue to be diligent. And my final point is the other brother, T Banks, you mentioned Haiti, and while the Haitian Revolution was a good thing, I think it's perhaps the aftermath was a sort of a great example of what the opposite of forgiveness, unforgiveness, can do to a population. In the aftermath of the Haitian Revolution, many Haitians went around and they would kill white French people. It wasn't so much white people, it was mostly French people. I believe they did it to the mixed race mulattoes as well, and it was a terrible sight. They killed many women, many men, and while there's something to be said, well, maybe they shouldn't have let them stay in the country. I think the massacres, and we can all accept that there were bad things, and forgiveness and continuing with the course of action would have been a better plan. So I do not mind forgiveness, but one, be consistent. Two, do not let up. Continue your course of action. Don't let your guard down, and that's about it.
All right, thank you. We're gonna go to Reg Rock, then we're gonna go to Moses, then we're gonna go to you, Insane. Reg Rock, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's up, fam? I do want to bring out a point. John Henry Clark said that he said we as blacks, I'm not sure if he meant foundational black Americans. We have a special humanity that other groups don't have. So our forgiveness bar probably moves back and forth. It's hard to say what's too forgiving. But as far as someone brought up a lot of Christian biblical stuff. If you remember, forgiveness it did not mean you didn't get your earthly punishment. Your forgiveness just got you in heaven. But if you did something crazy, you still might have to live through your earthly punishment. But just the forgiveness part meant your soul could go to heaven after it was over. And just a little short story. When I was getting my house built years ago, came in on a Sunday because I was watching them as they was building, and I seen this electrical cord running from my house, which was almost finished, across the street to another house they was building. And when I went in there, I'm sure it's probably an illegal alien in there with a light running from my house using my electricity because it had already been transferred to me. But all he had was a light, a mattress, and he had a Bible. So when I saw that, I mean, when I went up in there, initially I was going off. But when I saw that's all he had, I said, oh, it's just one light. He got an air mattress, and he read the Bible. And I told him it was cool. So was that too forgiving, or was that just having that humanity that John Henry Clark was talking about? So I think it's kind of hard to gauge what's too forgiving and forgiving. And like the people in LA with that fiasco, yeah, I forgive them, but they need to go through their punishment, earthly punishment, jail, as far as I'm with what they did to that community out there. All right, peace, fam.
Appreciate you, brother. Let me give a shout out to Miss Valerie. Thank you, Miss Valerie, for your contribution on Cash App. I'm going to go to Moses, then I'm going to go to you, Excel. You'll be next after that. And then we'll go to Insane. So, and I saw Black Native Sister. I saw you was up in here. I don't know what happened. You must have lost connection. If you get a chance, come back up here, raise your hand or whatever. So, Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic. Moses, you there? I don't know if Moses, we may have lost connection with Moses. I'll try again. Moses, are you there? Okay, I'll just circle Moses. We'll come back to him when we get a chance. It seems like he may have some connection issues, so let's move around the room. We'll come back to Moses if he wants to come back up. Excel, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for the space. Appreciate you first time listening to the space and following me more. So, yeah. So anyway, interesting question of Black Americans too forgiving. I'll say absolutely, positively yes. I myself was too forgiving until I got into real estate in 2014, and I saw just how poor and disenfranchised we were as Black people, foundation Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, whatever you want to call us. I saw how most of my clients, I would say a large majority of them, 90% of them are Black. I live in Boston. I think Moses is in Boston too by his accent. And, you know, a lot of my clients, they don't even have enough money for the down payment. There's a lot of programs here in Boston that helps first-time home buyers get down payment assistance, closing cost assistance, and a large majority, if my clients that are Black have to, use those programs, or they barely have 5% to put down on a house. Now, my white constituents, clients, man, they put down $100,000, $250,000. A lot of them, they have these trusts from their parents. It's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. And what's sad is, to this day, right now, 2022, we're still being disenfranchised. We're still being redlined. The appraisals are still coming in low. Back in 2021, at least 200 Black people were killed by police officers across the United States. Now, that was the police killed a total of 1,051 people. But when you look at Black people, we continue to be disproportionately impacted by police violence, because the data shows that we make up 13% of the U.S. population, yet Black people account for 27% of those killed by the police in 2021. And that's almost double. So I'm landing my plane. We need reparations. We've never gotten paid. We've never got our 40 acres. We've never got our land. We've never got our people. And it's just like Ukrainians are they got money. Today, Biden announced $1 million to go over to Nigeria to help them with the flood. Where's I'm landing my plane.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get to let me try Moses one more time. Moses, are you there? Moses, are you there? Okay, what I'm gonna do with Moses is I'm gonna go ahead and just temporarily drop him down until he comes back. He can request to come back up here. We'll bring him back up here just to free up a spot in case somebody else wants to come back. Let's see. Insane, you're next. Insane, you're next. But also, let me go and give a shout out to Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your contribution on Cash App as well. Insane, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello, Toter. Hello, Ray. Great space. As usual, yes, we are absolutely way too forgiving. And it's just something that we need to move away from rapidly and appreciate the position that we are here in this country. We're very vulnerable here, and we cannot let these slights, these murders, who commit atrocious acts, we can't be turning around forgiving them for doing such things. And that doesn't make us bad people. That simply says, hey, there's some things you can get away with, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that we just not going to allow you to get forgiven for. So that's my take on it, and I'll land my plane with that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's see who's next. DJ Ray, I haven't heard from you guys. Y'all want to add something real quick? And anybody else? We haven't had a chance to hear any of our women up in the space tonight. So if any of the women have anything that they would also like to add about this as well, too, please, ladies, by all means, go ahead and request the mic and come on up here. Black Native. I hope we can get Black Native up here because I do always enjoy her thoughts and on everything. So hopefully she'll come back into space and she'll get a chance to speak or whatever. But we'll get to you T Banks. But let me see what Ray and DJ got to say. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm just trying to be quiet, man. Let the family get in, say everything they got to say, man. But I mean, I think with like DJ said, we all agree to agree. We have all, for centuries just been too damn forgiving. The community starts with letter J. When you offend some of them, they make it come out the pocket, and that's how we need to be. We need to have our own organization similar to the ADL or something that if you say something, hey, you have to be punished. You have to go on an apology tour. But the problem is we as black people is we can't really enforce it. That's what the problem is. These other people they have power behind what they do. You offend them, your bank account start acting up and things of that nature. Like, and I land my plane on that. That's just something we need to think about. We need to start organizing, doing what we need to do, and I land right there.
All right, Ray, you sound kind of low. Like the past couple of nights, you seem a little bit low on the actual phone, but I can still hear you. But you was kind of a little bit low. But let me just add this point right here. Like, I understand what Moses.
My AirPods.
No, okay. I understand what Moses was saying in terms of a business perspective. Yeah, we do need to get more business savvy, and we do need to do more things financially and this and that. But the business aspect alone is not still. I mean, that's still not all about forgiving and whatnot. I mean, basically, the title is like, are we just too forgiving? Are we used to just accepting being ran all over? And that's what I'm thinking about. Like, yeah, it's great to have that business literacy and to have business people amongst us and training and teaching and everything of that perspective and stuff like that. So I agree 100% on that. Like, we definitely need more of that. We need to become more financial literate, but that in itself alone is not going to stop things because we've had our own financial centers and stuff like that, and we've seen with the actual hatred how that can actually get undermined. So we need to create more, and we're in a different era and stuff like that. And in this era, nobody's going to be burning down. If we was to build a new Wall Street, Black Wall Street, nobody's going to sit up there and just burn it down. But we need to go ahead and we definitely need to go ahead and try to get a little bit more financial literate and everything else like that as well too. But that in itself, it's not really what I consider about Black Americans forgiving and whatnot. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna get back to you, Professor. Let me get to T Banks. I want to hear what you have to say again.
Just in reference to the brother who came up earlier, he was like, the extension cord was running to the other house. That's humane
just a matter of, as stated earlier, we got all these police, but when we get upset and we're mad about this, we don't hit their pockets. We hit our own pockets. We don't make them feel the repercussions of the black community saying no, we don't agree. We still going out and buying Nike. We still going out and buying Gucci. We have to find a bottom line that ties all of us together no matter what. And that's the hard part. But it shouldn't be that hard. Because we, for the most part, have all gone through some way, shape, or form the classism, discrimination, racism, whatever however you want to put it, we've gone through that. We know that that's here. So that should be the bottom line there. So yes, the financial, that's going to come. Yes, we build a Black Wall Street. You're right, they're not going to burn it down. But we also have to think about the other avenues that they will try to, like you said, undermine. They're going to try to bring their police force in to regulate the area. No, we need to have our own police force. We have to really start building our own economy, even if it's in small pieces. In California, all black law enforcement. A small piece in Georgia, all black police departments. And then once you come up with all these small entities, then we find a space. We then do that group economics thing to where we now have these entities coming together, and now we have an economic base. And now we can begin to move forward to where, like you said, if somebody comes out and says something about the black community and we not for it, we spend $1 trillion a year, but we get paid the least. So we take that $1 trillion and we don't spend it with them, they're going to feel that. They're going to watch their mouth. They're going to watch their actions. So it's just a matter of being able to pull together the correct resources and bringing it out to the community and to the family so that it's understandable and it don't look so taboo. If we can do that, then we can be successful in our field, getting our reparations, actually having a voice to where they respect who we are as a people and understand what we contribute to this country. And I'm going to go ahead, put your flash down, and go and cruise on down that number.
All right. One thing I will say is this right here that, like, are we too forgiving? Well, one thing we can do is one thing we could correct right now is the actual relationship that Black Americans have with the Democratic Party. You can hear black people, the vast majority of black people, when you start asking them about things that the Democratic Party is not doing for Black America, they get defensive. They get upset. They don't want you talking about that because they feel like you have no other means of doing anything politically except going through the actual Democratic Party. So when you start saying that, hey, I'm going to hold them accountable, I'm going to stop giving them my support and this and that, that's one of the main things right there. For 60 years, the people haven't done squat for you. Yet you still out here campaigning. You're still spending millions of dollars in their party. You still like the mascot for them and this and that. Whenever somebody says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to vote Democrat. I'm going to vote Black people, Black Americans in this country get mad. And they'll point to any little crap thing that Democrats have signed as a way of saying that the Democrats have had your back. So that's one thing right there about the forgiveness aspect that we have. Like, we can't sit up here and say, well, we need to get tough with these people. We need to get tough with these people. Well, we're the backbone of one political party that, don't really want to have anything to do with us until it's election time. They want to sit up here and use our face and use our struggles and stuff like that and tie it into every other group. But yet when you ask them like, hey, what can you do for us specifically? They have a fit. They will not, you don't hear one Democratic candidate, be it black, white, be it male or female, sit up here and say, what I'm going to do for Black Americans specifically. It's got to be, well, we got to include the Hispanics. We got to include the Native Americans. We got to include the LGBTQ. We got to include the handicap. We got to include the Asians. We got to include the East Indians. We got to include everybody. So that's one thing. If you're seriously talking about that should be the very first group that you check right there in terms of like, hey, y'all for 60 years have ignored everything we said. our struggle, you went ahead and you tied every other group to it to water it down. What do we have to show for it? You've taken businesses and opportunities and everything else. It ain't just white folks. It ain't just white folks in the Republican Party that's redlining and all this other stuff like here too. Like I get upset when people talk about, well, you know, the Republicans the Republicans not stopping the Democrats from doing anything. The Democrats have had plenty of times where they've had majority of the House and the Senate and the president sitting up there in the White House, and they have not done anything. So when you start to point this out and you start to say this to black people and this and that, they get upset. So how are you going to sit up here and start checking other groups? Another thing too is that we have these anti-defamation leagues that the Jewish community have and stuff. You can't say anything. You can't say anything suggestive about Jewish people. You can call a black person every name in the book, every day of the book, every day of the week, and nothing's going to happen. Nothing whatsoever. Not only that, you're not going to have other Jewish people sitting up there talking noise about other Jewish people, but you have other black people, black celebrities, black this, black that. They'll sit down there, run down. But here's the thing. Jewish people are not going to let you get on TV and just run their people down like that. The actual people that own these studios and own these record labels and own these media outlets and stuff like that, they'll sit up there and they'll let you talk about black people until you're blue in the face. So before, like I said, there's a number of things that we can do to stop this whole forgiveness thing. Another thing is religion. We have a segment of black people, especially the baby boomers, the baby boomers, that believe that their reward is in heaven. That they're gonna live here on earth and they're gonna try their best and they're gonna do this and do that, but their reward is in heaven. You know, it doesn't really matter what happens here because there's another life and this and that. So even though you get treated like crap here on earth, at least you have to look forward to when you die that you have something in heaven, a reward. So there's so many different aspects. It's also, let's take a look, slavery. We've been conditioned for hundreds of years to go ahead and turn the other cheek. And like I say, it's a reason that article I read where they talk about people think that all the civil rights was about was praying and marching and singing. That's the whole thing that was told us as a people. So until we actually get this together, and the brother was saying the right thing about the group economics, what Moses was saying about business, I believe a part of that was correct. And what this brother saying about the group economics, we have to tie all of this stuff together politically, economically, spiritually, all of that other stuff as well too. If you're going to be in the religion, make the religion work for you. Okay. If you're going to believe, when you start sitting up here saying that it doesn't matter what color God is, and you already defeated, you already beaten. And I hear that from 60, 70-year-old black people that go to church every Sunday. They'll sit up and tell, well, it don't matter what color God is. Go to Korea, go to China and see if there's a white Jesus sitting up there. It damn sure does matter what color God is. Okay. If you're going to sit up here and say that God is the color of the people that enslave you and the people that's been torturing you for hundreds of years, you're already a beaten soul. And there's nothing that you can add to the discussion because all you're trying to do is just survive and just get by the skin of your teeth. You're weak and you're a detriment and you're dead weight. Okay? It does matter. No people on earth sit up here and have somebody that enslaved them and whooped on them and say, well, you know, that must be what God looked like. The Indians, when people came over here, the Indians didn't have a white God sitting up there. The black people will sit up here and tell you it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, come on here. It does matter. And people know when they hear you say that you don't have any fight in you. If you can sit up here and say it doesn't matter what color God is, this and that. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of these older black people, if you was to bring a Asian-looking Jesus in the house, then they would get upset. That old episode that we used to watch at Good Times, where they painted Ned the Wino as he was supposed to be Black Jesus, and the family started winning, and they started actually having luck come their way and this and that. But the mother of Florida, she had a fit. She said, that's not the Jesus I grew up praying to. Even when she read in the Bible, and the Bible suggests that, you know, Jesus could have certain features or could have this or have that or whatever. Even then, she still was uncomfortable. Now, Florida wouldn't be a baby boomer. She would be from, I guess, the greatest generation, the baby boomers' parents. But the fact of the matter is that upset her. She was a Christian to her heart. On the show, that's all she talked about was Jesus. She lived a good life. She was a good woman. But at the same time, she believed that Jesus was white. And she said that she did not want a black Jesus hanging up in her house. Think about the mind of that person there. That they're sitting up here. She's black as the ace of spade, and she's sitting up here and she's upset that her son went ahead and painted the actual black Jesus, and that the other son hung him up on the wall. Like I said, Good Time. I wasn't born when Good Times came up, but I used to watch the reruns and whatnot. I used to watch the show and whatnot. So I wasn't there to see when it took place, but we saw the reruns with our family and stuff, and that's something, because I know a bunch of older black women to sit up here and tell you the same thing. 30, 40 years later, they'll sit up here and tell you it don't matter what color God is. It don't matter what color Jesus is. Jesus loves everybody. Jesus is this. Jesus is that. But it kind of does matter, because I guarantee you, if you go over there in the Buddhists, they don't have a black dude up there with a bald head and a pot belly sitting up there worshiping him. And when they did have when all of these medieval paintings of the black Madonna and the black Jesus and all this other stuff was in circulation, what did they do? After worshiping it for how many hundreds of years or whatever, they went ahead and they started taking it off, and they started putting Jesus as they saw it. Started having Michelangelo and Leonardo and the rest of them start forming Jesus as the way they saw it. So yeah, it matters. Religion, politics, business, it all has to be tied. Economics, it all has to be tied up into one. We've seen whole townships and cities get smashed to pieces. We've seen highways get thrown in there. We seen down south they used to have the black kids, take them out of school so they can go. And I'm talking about in the 50s and 60s. I'm not talking about in the 20s or 1900, 1888. I'm talking about in the 1950s and 60s. They used to have kids, get them out of school here in the deep south so they can go out there and get a day worth of credit working out there in the fields, picking tobacco and all kind of different stuff like that. So yeah, it does actually matter. It does mean something. And until we get that in our head, we're sitting up here and we're watching. We just had a space talking about all of the actual foreign land a couple of nights ago, that you got China and Germany and the Netherlands and everybody else coming over here buying it with the help of the United States government, sitting up here selling acres, millions of acres under foreign rule right now. Police stations. China got a damn police station up there in NYC. So it kind of does matter. It's time to kind of tighten up a little bit around here, and that's something that we refuse to do. Let's go ahead and kick it to Professor. I'm gonna kick it to you, Professor. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, Newstoter. Thank you again, brother. And once again, I agree with the points that you just made right there. Also with Brother Moses, man, I agree with a lot what he said, except that when he got into that part about we complain too much. The point about all of that, y'all, is we in a system that is designed to keep us down. Now, does that mean that we're supposed to just lay down and not fight and not try to do what we can to do what we can to make it out here? No, don't lay down. You don't have to become a criminal and do all the stereotypical things they try to throw on us as being Black Americans. But, and what Moses said about the group economics, that is important. That's key. But what we're talking about in this space, we're talking about forgiveness of Black Americans to forgiving. And at this point in time, it just kind of seems like we are. Is what I can say, because I know, you was talking about the baby boomers, Newstoter. I was talking to my aunt about racism and how it has affected us for the many years that our people have been here in America. And of course, my aunt, just like you just said, man, with these baby boomers, you know what she said? Well, God is gonna take care of all of it. He's gonna take care of all of it, and we're gonna soon be on the top. And they know it's gonna be us on the top soon. We just gotta pray to Him. It's all in His hands. See, this is what older Black Americans always say, and I'm pretty sure everybody in this space can relate to that. This is what they always say. They don't try to go out and fight. They just say, "Hey, it's all in God's hands." And so, what can you do? You can try to tell them, "Hey, we need to try to get out here and make some things happen ourselves," but they're not going to do that, folks. So And this is the largest population of people in the country, by the way, the baby boomers. So when you're talking about this voting, those are the people that control it. So even on our end, as Black America, it's the baby boomers that's the largest group. So therefore, when you're talking about these polls, they like we've been saying, hey, we shouldn't just go and vote for these Democrats. Unfortunately, y'all, that's gonna hurt us. It's these baby boomers. But yes, that's where the issue is at, y'all. It's been passed down from generation to generation, man. It's for us to turn the other cheek, and it's all in God's hand. And we just need to let God fight the battle. That's what they always tell us to do, right? So you kind of have to just roll with it, I suppose. I land my plane there.
All right, Professor, I appreciate that. Let me get to the Black Texan real quick. And one thing, Professor, before we go for, I believe that the baby boomers are no longer the largest population. I could be wrong, but I believe that the millennials may have passed them in terms of the actual number, because don't forget, we have a lot of baby boomers that's up in the age that's leaving here too. But I believe that they're actually no longer the largest actual population of the United States. I could be wrong, but I want to say that the millennials have actually passed them. I believe that the millennials are the actual biggest population in the country. I could be wrong. If somebody gets a chance, Google that and let me know. But I believe that
I'll Google it. I'll check it out.
All right, let me go to. I'm gonna get to UT Banks, but we got a new speaker. Let me get to the Black Texan. Black Texan, go ahead and unmute your mic. Black Pressure, whenever you want to speak to, let me know as well.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thanks for having me, brother. I just want to weigh in right quick, make a quick point. I think that when it comes out to the Black community, it's a little bit more ambiguous when it comes down to, are we too forgiven? Because it's a two-part question. We are we have a level of forgiveness for anybody other than Black ourselves, our own people. And I just want to give an example. Right. So you've seen a lot of things on TV when Black people forgive, like the death of our children, things like that. You see a huge push for that. Then eventually everyone goes on that get on that wave, or at least a good majority of people, get on that wave enough to sway the media. However, we'll hold on to anger for a part that a Black actor played too well, like for example Ike Turner, and forever be mad at Lawrence Fishburne. Right? And I find it funny, but this is an actual phenomenon that I've seen and even discussed. And I'm like, damn, if we kept that same energy for the people that oppress us on a daily, we'll be much further, in our own history. But we're not. We're being held back artificially. We're not doing anything about it. We're too forgiving. So I do believe that we're way too forgiving for the opposition. However, not forgiving enough for our own. And that's all I want to say. I'm going to land my G550. Thank you for allowing me to come up to speak.
I agree with you saying that too, brother. It is true, and that's always been the case. We definitely will hold a grudge with each other forever, but don't let a white person come. Oh my God, what TBA said. If you ever want to find out the truth from a Black person, have a white person ask them a question. So I'm in 100% agreement with that. Like, we'll go ahead. Don't let a white person or Hispanic or Asian or anybody else come up there and say something. We gonna smile from ear to ear. Yo, yeah. Don't let it be a white boy that supposedly, quote unquote, has some soul or whatever. Oh my God! Like, and you'll just hear Black people just slobbering all over them and this and that. So I'm in 100% agreement, and that's a big issue in the continent and here in America, in the Caribbean as well too. Like, we sit up here and we let outsiders come in there and this and that. Like, even we had that space talking about Fat Joe, and you had people up there in New York talking about, well, a lot of the Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, they moved in with us and this and that. So, 50, 60 years ago, they lived right next to us in our buildings and projects and this and that. So we had a understanding. So, if they drop the N-word and call us, you know what, then it's all good because they've been around us for 50, 60 years. Unfortunately, the rest of Black America all throughout the country didn't get that memo. Unfortunately, the rest of the Black America in the South and other parts of the North and in the Midwest and out West and whatnot didn't get that memo that it was okay for people outside to come in here and drop N words on them. So I guess that you have one segment, one small population of Black people in the country got to determine everybody else that, hey, we can let some outside group that comes from also a slave nation as well too, that has all kind of anti-Black thoughts and views against us. Well, you know, right? It's okay for them to go ahead and drop N bombs on us as well too. You know what? Because they had no place to live at when they got here. They live next to us, so everything is okay. I don't think so. It don't really work that way. Brother McCoo, go ahead and unmute your mic, Brother McCoo.
What's going on, fam? What's going on to the room? You definitely know how I feel about this Newstoter, this topic. I think I said this probably about 50 times. This probably about the 100th time I'm about to say this in a open platform. We do not see nature forgive. So why in the hell do we forgive anything? That is the problem. When you for doing something to you, all you're doing is opening up the door for them to do that shit again. That's all it, and the evidence, Brother Muko, it's not what I say. Look at the evidence. Look at the evidence. Anytime somebody has ever forgiven somebody, it's got their shit bust open right after they forgave them. And it's been done in history to every type of person, but more to our people, because we are the most forgiving people. All somebody got to say is, Jesus said forgive, and you'll forgive. Or it say forgive in the Bible. Well, I don't even say, it don't even say the word. I don't even think it say the word forgive in the Bible. And if it do, why are you even holding that shit, you know, as a platform? Not trying to offend anybody. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But, you know, I always say, I only need to smell shit once to realize that it's shit. You know what I'm saying? Forgiving, that shit don't work. And there's no proof. I don't see it in nature. I'm made up of the four elements of nature, just like everybody else on this line and on this platform. And I don't think anyone has ever answered the question of where or show me how nature forgives. And I want people to really think about that. Everybody that's on this line tonight, think about that. Look, when you're looking out at the trees and seeing the winds gust or seeing the snow coming in whatever area you in, you don't see nature come back and say to you, "Oh, I'm sorry for flooding your shit out." Nature don't do that shit. So why in the fuck do we keep, oh, forgive? Every time something happens, first thing they want to say is, well, we should forgive them. Man, I don't forgive a goddamn thing. That's why I want my reparations, and that's the shit we need prepared from. I was like right there, Newstoter. Thanks for letting me come on.
Real talk, Brother McCoo, and let me also thank you for your contribution on Cash App, brother, and thank you for always supporting this platform like you always do. I appreciate it, and I always love to hear your thoughts. So let me go ahead and kick it to T Banks, and then I'll go to you, Moses, because we tried to get to you earlier, but we lost connection with you. So T Banks, go ahead and unmute your mic. Real quick, T Banks, and to everybody, any speakers in the actual room, if you guys could please, if it's any way to turn your volume up on your phones, if you're on a headphone or something like that, if you could turn it up. We want to try to get you as much as possible. This is being streamed and whatnot, so I know that you know, you guys may not come out as clear, but please go ahead and if you can crank the volume up, if you can get off of the actual whatever you can do to make it louder, please go ahead. But go ahead, T Banks.
All right, but what I was saying was it's a similar underlying tone, and this tells me that this is one of the biggest issues that we got to get rid of, and it's this religion that has been placed upon us. Because as everybody has said, you know what I mean, the reason we forgive is because, oh, the Bible would say this, the Bible would say that. Like he said, ain't no forgiving in nature. A lion don't sit here and motherfucker take a wildebeest out, and I don't mean to cuss, my bad, but don't take a wildebeest out and then go over there and start licking his wounds. You know what I mean? It's cutthroat out here, and black folks, we've been it's been brainwashed within us to be soft. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. Like T.I., he said in one of his joints, the art of not fighting back was given to us by our oppressors. That's the only reason we don't fight back, because before they became our oppressors, they could not touch Africa because we had it on lock. We were unforgiving. They could not touch the coast. So they fought for decades upon decades to get into Africa. And when they finally did, that's why honestly, I'm not really mad at them, because all they did, they used our tactics against them. You see how tight-knit they were? No, we can't allow that to happen no more. We have to keep them from that top, because the moment that they come together, we now know that they're unstoppable. It took us too long to get in here. We got to understand that. We got to use that to our advantage, because that's all they're doing. We got to teach this history. We got to let it be known that, yes, we are really warriors, and they're terrified. That's why they put us down in the middle of the street, put on the news. But yet, when their people get kidnapped, the only way you can see that is they're going on the internet somewhere. You don't see no white folks sitting here getting shot in the middle of the street, none of that. Nah, they put us on display. They've always done from postcards back in the 20s, 30s, 40s. They're going on the picnics. We you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be the dead horse, but I mean it's just that right there. We gotta get rid of that religion. That right there, it is a mental game that they implemented, and I hate to say it, it's worked phenomenally. You can't be mad at the tactics. It's worked phenomenally. But now us as people, we have to now figure out, in the time that we are, the age of information, this Web3 space, the point that we can connect the way that we can, we got to find a way to reverse it. And if we can reverse it, that's when things are going to honestly change. That's when we'll stop being so forgiving to others and be more forgiving to ourselves. Once that happens, and we are then ruthless to those who come against us, as nature is against us, as nature is against everyone fairly and unbiasedly, then us as a people, we're going to get our reparations, because they ain't going to have no choice. The power is then there. That's what they're afraid of. That's why we have to do it. We got to come together. We got to drop that religion. And with that right there, I'm going to go ahead and drop these air brakes. You know what I mean? There we go. I'm out for the night. So y'all be good. I'm be down here listening.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and for the people that's coming up listening, we got a few people that I had to Insane brother. I just dropped you for a second, and Black Text, and I dropped you for a second because we had a couple new people came up that request to speak. So if anybody that's coming up to request to speak, please make sure you go ahead and put your hands up. Don't request to speak if you're not going to actually get on the mic, because people are coming up and whatnot. People want to say something. So if you want to speak, then make sure you please go ahead and put your hand up. Let's not just take up a space for anybody that they may actually want to say something. So we want to go ahead and keep this conversation rolling, keep everything flowing, keep everything going. So let me go ahead and get to Moses. You got back up. I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak because you had your hand up earlier, but we lost connection with you. But let me go ahead and get the order of things going. We got Black Pressure, and I'm sorry y'all if I missed the actual the order of things, because you know it's been kind of coming and going right there. So I'm gonna go Black Pressure, and I'm gonna go Thought, I'm gonna go to Judge, and I'm gonna go to you, Amon Ra. So let's go ahead, and Ray, I'm gonna get your co-host, so I'm gonna go ahead and we get to you whenever. So just sit still for the minute or whatever. What's up?
Hey, you was right, man. It's the millennials. I just got the numbers.
Yeah, I know the millennials. They outpassed the this is not Volvo. I'm gonna get you in here too. Yeah, I know they outpassed the actual baby boomers. Thank goodness, because the baby boomers, they was just cutting the fool up here with some of this stuff. No insult, because my parents and uncles and a bunch of them are baby boomers too. But it's time to go ahead and sometimes, like they say, real power, it's not given, it's taken, and it's time to go ahead and take that mantle from them as well too. So no disrespect to any, because I know the baby boomers in this space right here, you guys are definitely for real, you riders. So no disrespect to you. We love you. We appreciate you. We just know, and listen, I'm Generation X, and it's a bunch of us too that sit up here and are magpies. I'm gonna say that again. It's a bunch of Generation X's that are magpies. So we came by it honest. Just to be on the sake, we came by it honest. So let me go ahead and Secret Sister, I'm gonna get you up in here too as well, sister. So let me go ahead and kick it to Black Pressure. Black Pressure, I know you got something interesting to say. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, News, I'm gonna do this. Give my spot to Judge Sarah or Secret Sister, and you just come back to me whenever you want.
Okay.
I'm ready when you are.
Definitely. I'll do that. I'm sorry. It was actually Moses. I'm sorry, Moses. Go ahead, Moses. And but then you were next, Black Pressure. But okay, so I'll give it to Secret Sister to judge. But go ahead, Moses.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, brother. I got you. I'm just straightening out my little order right here, but I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and Secret Sister or Judge. I'll give Judge the go next, and then after Moses. So Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother. You there, Moses? Okay, we seem to have lost Moses once again. I don't know what happened, but all right. Hold on. He's requesting to come back up. Let's go ahead and see if he's back in the space. Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thanks a lot, Newstoter. Earlier on, please disregard I was buying Australian Pacific coal because the Germans, they need that. I'm dead ass. It's like 12 p.m. over there in Australia. I was buying Australian Pacific coal because the Germans, they ain't getting no Russian oil. So, let me just make something quick. The gentleman that was before me that was speaking, man, he nailed it. There was a lady that came on like right after I spoke, and she also nailed it too. Look, let me ask you a question. What do you need to fight a war? What's the key? Like the main key you need to fight a war?
You gotta have soldiers first and foremost.
You gotta have soldiers, and you gotta have and what else do you need to have? You need to have money. It takes money to fight a war. The gentleman came after before me. He was saying, out here, yes, I get it, bro. You go on my timeline and ask Newstoter, I am all the way in reparations. I was at the Boston Reparations Task Force, and I was giving them the business. Lineage-based cash reparations, specifically only for FBA. But listen, my guy, you can't just be out here just waving a sign all the time. People are not going to respect you. Power respects power. Like the lady said after I spoke, you need power. And folks are so unforgiving because they don't have a wherewithal to understand power. Just go learn about investments. Don't waste your time every day and I'm going to say it and I'm not being bashful, don't waste your time every day complaining. What's the point of complaining if your pockets is not right? Look, I can complain all I want. I make well over 6 figures. I can travel the world when I want to. I handle billions of dollars. I have knowledge. If I want to, I'm going to complain. And you know what? Because I understand power, I will get something out of my complaining. I kid you not. Look, the black grassroots have been doing amazing things. If it was not for the black grassroots, especially these millennials, I'm telling you right now, folks like Newstoter, myself, the news conglomerates, the politicians, they would not be talking reparations. But however, the buck doesn't stop here. Yes, we're moving and shaking things. We're pushing the needle. But we also have to incorporate investments. I'm going to keep saying that, man. Without money, no one's going to really take you serious. Power respects power. All right? Look, power respects power. Don't just spend your time on spaces where it's just the same thing, man. Diversify. There's so much going on here. Go get some knowledge. Look, you don't even have to be in investments. Go learn about go learn about economically what's going on around the world on these Twitter spaces. And then when you're done, come back on Newstoter or come back or if it's whoever it is that's FBA talking reparations. You have to diversify because if you stick to just this, bro, I'm telling you, you're always going to, and you know what? You're going to be your worst nightmare, the person that's the forgiver. because complainers end up being forgivers. Complainers end up being forgivers. You have to be thoroughbred. You have to be about the gusto. We are in a globalized economy. Bro, if you're not getting your nails dirty, something's wrong with you. You need to be about getting money. Go learn a trade. You don't need to go to school for 4 years. You can learn machine learning. You can learn coding. You can learn PMP, project management professional. You can learn Salesforce. So learn Jira, Agile. These things, it takes you nothing but 3 months, 6 months, so you can apply a tool, so you can make it 6 figures working remote, making your own schedule. Man, all this social talk is good, but look, we're going to keep talking social. It's going to be another relapse of the 60s. These folks, all they did was went to school for sociology, complaining, bitching all day, not talking about money, not talking about real estate. And you know what? I don't want that to continue. We have to be a people that's about real estate, investments, and then we talk about social. No one said we can't talk about social. No one said we can't go out for the reparation. We finna get our reparations, but man, we can't be just narrow-minded, one-sided. Come on, it's like over 60 million of us FBA in America. It's over 60 million of us, probably more than that. There's enough of us. There's enough of us. There's enough of us. Stop complaining, man. Stop it. That stuff is weak. That's why a lot of y'all are forgiving all the time. You have no idea. You become your own worst nightmare. But if you really think about leveling up, raising your stakes, we're talking money here. Go learn a trade, a skill. We're talking money here. Money talks, man. Money talks. And look, the gentleman that spoke right after me, he has said a lot of good things. He said something about, folks always wanted to tap dance and just be buddy. Look, nobody wants to be your buddy. Matter of fact, I don't know why you want to be a buddy. My dog is my buddy. I don't want a buddy. I don't want a pal. I want money, more power, more money, more power. I don't want friends. I don't want no one to give a fuck about me. I don't want no penny. I don't want nobody to have no pity for me. I don't want to complain because you know why? Let me tell you, you're over there complaining, you waving your sign, they're looking at you with 36 words saying, God damn, they complaining. They're not fighting, they're complaining. Give them some crumbs. That's what they look at, bro. You gotta be about the money, man. You gotta be about powering yourself. And I'll land when I say this. I'll land. You have to be selfish. We all can't help each other if we're not helping ourselves. Individually, get yourself right. So collectively, we could be tight. I land.
Hey, Newstoter,
All
man.
right.
I'm gonna leave you a space, bro, man, because that just did it for me. Hey, thank you, man. I gotta get up out of here.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go to
Real quick, Todd. I'm trying to bring the fam, the Black Texan up. I don't know what's wrong with your phone, and
wait. We may have more than enough speakers too, so that could be the issue right there.
no, that's not the issue. It's not the issue. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
All right, let me go to the judge next because I know Black Pressure said he was going to let her take his place. So, Judge, go ahead and unmute your mic. Yeah, you're kind of low, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I want to address the question, American. I can't answer that until.
Now you breaking up some.
Okay, just a minute. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna take my headset out. I apologize for this. I took my headset out. Can you hear me now?
You're a little bit far away. We was hearing you, but it just started breaking up.
Somebody in this muted me, but anyway, I'm gonna attempt to.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you good now.
Okay, great. I want to answer the question about are Black Americans too forgiving? And first, I'm going to say I cannot answer that intelligently because I do not know all Black Americans. I'm a forgiving person, and this has nothing to do with the Bible. It has to do with me being humane. When we listen, and I know as we listen, the general consensus is going to probably be that Black people are too forgiving. And if we go and we count and do a statistic of what is said, it might be in this room that we're too forgiving, and they'll discuss how they're not forgiving. What the gentleman who just spoke earlier, that I'm not one to really want to have conflict, but that mindset is concerning to me. Okay, one of the reasons why we're last because we continue that crap in the bucket. I don't need nobody. I don't need no friends. I just want money. Give me money, money, money. I was married to a wealthy man most of my life. Freedom is better. Okay? Money gives you things and opportunity in this country, but freedom is better. So I'm going to land there.
And how do you get freedom? How do you get...
Wait, hold on, Moses. You done already spoke, bro. You gotta go. You gotta mute your mic now. You went on for a minute. Okay, I let you go on for a minute. Don't come off the mic. We got to go to other people. So you spoke for a minute. All right, Black Pressure. Go ahead and unmute your mic, bro.
Okay, like I do, start out by saying hello to the Black family, respect to the host, all the co-hosts. So, news, I'm going to do something most people didn't do tonight. I'm going to stay on the subject. So, you said, are Black people too forgiving? 100% absolutely. Black people are too forgiving. And the biggest culprit is Western religion. It has made the Black man and the Black woman 100% docile. So you can go back to, I always reference this guy, but you can go back to our great elder Martin Luther King. He touched on it. Malcolm X touched on it. Marcus Garvey touched on it. Even if you bring it back to the modern day, Dr. Umar did a wonderful job of touching on it. They made it clear that the Black man that entered the slave ship in the mother continent was not the same as the Black man that exited the slave ship in America. And the symbolism is in that is to say that the difference between the Black man that got on the slave ship and the Black man that got off the slave ship was the ideology that we came in contact with. And that ideology, once again, was Western religion. You could look at just a few of our foreparents that largely were not introduced to Western religion or did their best to resist it. You got names like Bookman Duddy. You got names like Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Cletus the Black, Shaka Zulu, Hannibal Bark. I could go on and on and on. So, like I say, once again, you have to point at Western religion as the biggest culprit. And I'll give you a personal testimony of mine, and I'll land. I've seen this here in Houston, where I spent the vast majority of my life. I've seen Black people come together as a community. They put their money together and they purchase commercials aimed directly at the Black community, and to let us know how important it is to vote. So what happened is these churches came together, right? These churches came together and made caravans, and they said, hey, they made grids out of the city, and these caravans went, I mean, literally damn near all over Houston, out to all the Black communities. They picked up the elderly. They picked up the handicapped. They picked up people that didn't have a car and took them to the polls to vote. While they were standing in line in the heat, they gave them food. They gave them water. They gave them Gatorade. They even took them home after. Huge caravans spent a bunch of money on this. So a lot of these people that were involved in this, I knew. So I looked at these same people in their face, and I was like, man, you know what? I said that doggedness you had, that relentlessness you had, that unyielding energy to make sure Black people participated in the voting process. I said, let's do this. I said, let's plan something like that and get Black people together. And I said, let's plan a march against the Houston Police Department and, confront them about their violence against Black people. You know what these pastors looked me in my face and said? It was like, oh no, Jesus is going to handle that. So I was like, hold on, you telling me This is what you telling me, that you personally and physically get involved in black people participating in the voting contest, but the lives of our men, women, and children, Jesus is gonna handle that. And I'll land my plane right there.
All right.
Let me respond to him because I really want to discuss this thing of being forgiven and getting in contact.
Okay.
I want to take away what you said about how. Okay, so what does forgiveness have to do with what you just now said? Please, can we just examine that? Because what happens is I'm a black person in America. I know what it is to be black. And to the gentleman, millions of dollars is taken from me because I'm a black person. Okay, I'm talking about freedom. Okay, one of the issues is we are oppressed, and it interferes with our ability to think and function. Being angry prevents you from being successful because you're angry and you're mad. Okay, so when forgiveness is for me, it's not for you. It's for me, not holding that shit. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, brother. The church was willing to go out on a limb for a vote, but not for the abuse. And that was perspective. That had nothing to do with forgiveness. And I'm laying there.
All right, let me go ahead and because we got a bunch of hands up, y'all. So after you get through speaking, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move to the next person. So everybody in the room, because I know a lot of times people hear a point and they want to come in and speak and stuff, but we're gonna try to keep this in order so we can go ahead and be fair and let everybody get a chance to actually speak. So the next person up is gonna be I believe that's gonna be Thought. Thought, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yes, very good speakers in the room tonight. Blessing and peace to everybody in the room. I like what the brother was saying, Moses. We was talking about money. Money's what we got to do to be successful as people. That was very interesting. I was actually reading an article about how African Americans are the largest and most powerful purchasing power in the country. $1.8 trillion spent in a year, right? That's trillions, by the way. And
2.2 trillion.
My bad, 2.2 trillion. But yeah, that's crazy. So it shows you how retailers, companies, they're marketing to us and trying to get us to buy their products. What the fuck? Sorry, I don't want to swear, but we're not owners of anything, right? Of no products, right? And that's why the Kanye situation that's obviously making headlines right now.
But we have the money.
Yeah, we got the money. Hell yeah. So
Don't come off your mic again. I'm gonna say that the next person that comes off the mic, I'm gonna drop them. Okay, I'm just being real. Don't come off the mic. I don't care. Let the person speak, especially people who've already spoke. I mean, people who spoke for a couple times. Please don't come off your mic. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, News. I appreciate that respect. But yeah, what was I saying? Kanye, he's headlining the news right now all around the world, and it's just, it's interesting because he's one of the only black people in America that owns a brand that's very powerful and that's easy, right? And he's trying to push that product and that business to the world. He's trying to be the next, Disney or Nike or Apple, Tesla. But none of us, no black person owns a company like that, right? It's all white people that own that shit. So I kind of feel like if we came together as as a people, as like a hedge fund, as a bank, and kind of put our money together, we can easily be one of these companies, right? It's just that the people like Kanye is a genius. Is the fact that he doesn't have the access to finance, right? So it doesn't matter if he's worth $2 billion. To be a successful businessman, you have to be able to access capital and leverage your money. Some of these, Universal Records or Warner Bros. Or Disney, they're able to fund their businesses by accessing bank and financial capital. So if they got $2 billion or $10 billion, they leverage that. It's called leveraging to $200 billion, right? And they're able to access those extra money. So Kanye is a genius, and I wish the black people seen this, and our brothers and see this and let's leverage and support this guy because this guy has he has a mind of creativity. He can push a product. He can change fashion industry trends.
like within the snap of his fingers and support him in that way. So I feel like what he's lashing out right now, he's going crazy, is because he realized, no, we don't. He can't access that financial capital to leverage.
He's not ready to be president.
No, not president. No, not president.
Who said that? Who said that? I just told people not to come off their mic. Who said that? This is, I mean, we talk about all this other problems with Black Americans and this and that and the issues. One of the biggest damn problems we got is our listening skills. Who said that? I just sat here and I've said this a number of times, and some of y'all may be new in the room. I just sat here and I say, please don't come off the mic. And I know that all you were saying, you were just agreeing, but damn, come on. This is one reason as a people we can't do stuff. Because damn, we gonna listen. We gonna do stuff our way. I just sat here as a host and asked y'all because for one, the conversations are getting pretty heated tonight. For two, people have been insulting people. People have been cutting people off and this and that. And we don't want to have all that because at the end of the day, it's a discussion. Okay. And that's all it is. But at least show some respect. Show some damn respect to the host up in the room as well, too. I'm not sitting up here just cutting people off and interrupting people. And if I'm the host and I can do it, then I know the speakers can do it as well, too. Every speaker that's been in here for the most part has been in Newstoter's room a bunch of times. Y'all know we go ahead, we pass the mic, we let everybody talk. Let it be that. Good Lord. Go ahead, brother, please. And go ahead and land your plane about Kanye and whatnot, too, in about 40 seconds so we can get to the next speaker.
I will. I just want to say, I'll take 10 seconds to say thank you. You're very respectful. And I feel like that's amazing quality not a lot of people have as a host. And I wanted to say that's amazing, bro. Respect. I just want to say that. But yeah, I'm going to land right now. I just want to say, yeah, basically my point is, we got to be able to uplift each other and trying to, breed the genius of our people because we have untapped resources, untapped creativity, and, support each other, and if there's people who have an idea, support them with your capital and crowdfund and push their ideas because you never know. We might have the next Beethoven, that's your neighbor. So support each other.
All right, brother. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your point of view. So thank you for speaking. Also, let me go ahead and get to one of our sisters real quick. I'm gonna get to you, Almond Robert. Let me go ahead and get the secret sister. Secret sister, please go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Hey, Brother Cutter. Hey, Ray. Hey, DJ. I love all my brothers and my sister and family. Don't start. See, get him, Totter. Get him. He came off his mic. That's your co-host. Okay. Okay, so are we too forgiving? I would have to say yes. I come from a family of there is no forgiveness when you hurt one of ours. I can't. Can I get over it? Can I move past it? And can I be civil? Yes. But I'm tired of seeing my people fall and on TV, the families get there. Oh, God, I forgive them. Oh, I forgive them. Oh, look, and please, no one take this. This is my opinion. This is not the opinion of the host or the co-host. This is mine. If there was a God in this Bible, okay, why did he single us out? We have to find that out. You got too much that you have to answer for. If there was really a God, why would he have this holy Bible written by a gay man? So I just don't get it. And then say, no, you're not allowed to be gay on the inside. I don't get that. But my thing is this whole thing, everybody knows I'm on the unplug and let's start our own black world. So this is no disrespect to my brother Moses, but you sound like you're really in bed. I'm with my sister, the judge. It's really like kind of scary because you are trying to, as in the words of Martin Luther King, you're trying to take my people to a burning house. I don't want us to get more of their money. I want us to move away and we can make our own currency. So if you're not taking my people in that in that direction, I'm sorry, I can't see the greed that you have for them, because it seems as if you think that you're actually going to ever be able, they're ever going to let you sit across the room from them and look at you as an equal because you have some of their currency. Now, I seen something very disturbing, and it was a article that said they are getting ready to print the first Asian American woman on our currency. I'm offended. They promised us so much in my life. They promised us 40 acres. They promised us this. They promised to leave us alone. They promised they take down everything we build, and then they won't let us build. So, Moses, if that's the life you want to be, you can be the one outside the wall of my Black America, because my Black American men are men that can think for themselves and they can make their own currency. They don't need to get in deeper bed with them. I need for y'all to come up collectively with a plan on how to unplug from them and let them see we don't need them. They need us. We're the inventors. Okay, we are the trendsetter. I mean, we just do everything. We forgiving the trends. I mean, this LGBT thing for coming into our classes with our babies, teaching them it's okay for them to grab another little boy's hand, but you can't teach them our Black history. So in that, no, I'm sorry. We do. I have seen too many of my family forgiving. And it's time, if y'all stop forgiving, maybe they'll take us serious, because they taking us as a joke, because we're the only community that continuously get fucked over, and we forgive them. On that, I'm a land.
All right, sister, I appreciate you. Let me go to Armin Raw. Armin Raw, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace to everybody in the chat. I'm from Louisiana, man. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. One of the original 13 colonies that they call it. And my thing is, I'm an old school cat, you know what I mean? And I listen to a lot of things, man, and I analyze it. And my thing is this: the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, everybody got one thing that we don't have: a fucking army. We steady want to buy land and shit. I feel, this is my opinion, that's already ours. Because if you know anything about yourself, then you know this land is our land. It's our shit. Every degree on it. You know what I mean? So why instead of all these brothers, Kanye talking about asking people for money to wear 2020, all this nigga been bought by the Jews, the Gnostic Jews. We the original, but he not speaking on it. He not speaking on the text. A lot of that shit sound good and everything, but he been bought. He been in the music industry, and all of a sudden, so how I know that I don't know if you got 9 billion, Kanye. I ain't seen it. You're a billionaire, so why don't you go fuck with LeBron and all these other actors and everybody else, put it together, and don't buy a team, buy some fucking air fighters, some jets, some fucking army bases. Everybody got it but us. I feel we be putting our money around our neck, around our wrist, in our homes, in our cars, even in our community. This our shit, We need a fucking army, not just like the Black Panther, man. We need some war. We need some tanks. We need some artillery, not just some shit where you gonna go buy a couple of AK-47s and go shoot it outside, put it on fucking Facebook and all that.
Hey, brother, real quick, let's kind of chill a little bit on the cursing and whatnot if we can. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
Forgive me, family. Forgive me about the language. Forgive me. I just get passionate about it. But I just want to say that all this, man. I'm an ex-military person, and I did some things and seen things that my brothers could do and my sisters did. That's already in us. So I mean, for us to own something, I feel we've been putting our money in the wrong thing, man. we need to put our money into some artillery, some airfields, some type of military, not no expansion basketball team or just real estate. Just our land. This for us by right. By right, everybody in Africa. This is North America side. This is the true Egypt. This is the old world. It's new to them. We've been here. You know, and for all these brothers, man, that's killing each other, man, and people. Obama saying the same thing. Kanye said. He's just a street poet, you know. But if you listen, Obama did the same thing. And what he did, give everybody else money. They're giving Ukraine money. And you voting, and you going to vote for this one and that one. It don't matter who you vote for. It's just it's a ritual. Everything is rituals. You got to open your third eye, man. You got to line your chakras up. You got to get your, you just got to see. We need artillery. We need not just no Black Panther and just black men standing up, man. We need some black men, women flying air fighters over these people, man. That's why they do that to us. Because we spend all billions. I heard the brothers and sisters talk about how much money we spend. I think we've been doing that for years. And ain't putting nothing, no military behind us. We joined it, but why we don't have nothing for us? That's what I want. I want a military. Man. You could have all the guns you want, man. These white folks are sending these people in. Man, I've been a war. Hey, I promise you. You ain't got enough bullets. You don't have enough bullets, man. They're going to take you. Read your deed on your house that you think you own, your mineral rights. Read all of it. Man. And that's all I want to say. On a peace and love to everybody.
All right, brother. We appreciate you coming into the space tonight. Let's go ahead and get to Volvo. Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just want to test the topic of the room. Are Black Americans too forgiving? I say absolutely. We forgave everybody. The world has historically done us wrong, and we forgave them for we end up getting burnt in the end. The Africans sold us over here. We forgave them for that and said those are Black brothers. Look at what they're doing now. They shitting on us. The white devils put us in slavery, and real slavery did the most horrible things to us that any other group of human beings have ever faced. We forgave them for that. Look, and look how they're doing us now. The Arabs had a hand in the slave trade. Look at us now. They hate us. So whatever we did, where they think that we did to them, they ain't forgave us for it. Whatever it is, I don't know what this is about, but they ain't forgave us for it. So why the fuck is we forgiving them? I'm a hard person. I know that. I understand that. Like, it's some people in my family. I don't even consider them family. We just got the same relatives. My blood brother, I don't fuck with him. I don't mess with him. I wouldn't even, if he died, I wouldn't even go to his funeral. If I die before him, I hope he don't go to my funeral. I already told my friend, he ain't allowed in here. And other family members that I don't mess with. If they die, I wouldn't even go to their funeral. It's about the violation for me. There's some stuff you can't come back from. There's some stuff that you just can't come back from. The way these people did us, we ain't did nothing to these people. The white folks can do whatever they want to these people. They go all over the world, raping them, robbing them, blowing their countries up. They come over here and they forget the white people. We've done nothing. So that tells me that it's something that's deeper than just it's something deeper going on. We ain't did nothing to these people. So hell no, I don't forgive them. Now that don't mean that I'm cordial with everybody. I don't care if you come at me with a good spirit, I come at you back with it. But other than that, it's fuck you. I don't mess with none of them. I don't want to be around none of them. No, I don't forgive the white man. No, I don't forgive the African. Hell no, I don't forgive the Latino. No, I don't forgive the Arab, the Asian. I don't forgive none of them. I care about my people, and that's what we got to start doing. I land.
Appreciate that. This is not Volvo Rants. I appreciate that, brother. Can't say I disagree with what you said there either. So let's go to Mr. Engaging. Mr. Engaging, you left a comment that I kind of want you to kind of clarify for me. I was saying that you're saying that it was something about lineage based, and I just glanced over it. I really didn't get a chance to really see it or whatever. I know you're saying something about white supremacy as well, but kind of elaborate a little bit about that comment that you left. Are you saying that that the lineage based reparations? Just kind of clarify that a little bit, and also about the actual topic: are Black Americans too forgiving? It's your go, Mr. Engaging. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, how's it going? I had a hard time hearing everybody, but I'm gonna definitely want to speak. I feel that it's something we have to be forgiving, but in the guise of that, that we're forgiving with everybody else, but not with each other. I think that we're very, as a group, that we could be very kind of divisive amongst ourselves with like groups and organizations, titles, you name it. It becomes very divisive in that regard, which kind of don't put us all on the same page, you know. So I just want to leave it to that. I feel that we're a little too forgiving with other cultures, but not too forgiving with each other. We need to be more forgiving with each other.
All right, brother. I appreciate that. Short and sweet. Let's go ahead and get to the company. The company, go ahead and unmute your mic, bro.
First off, I'd like to apologize for interrupting thought earlier in the space. I know that we're not asking for forgiveness or anything else like that, but definitely I would like to give my apologies for speaking out of turn. Sorry, Newstoter, for interrupting your room.
No problem, brother. No problem.
It's something I'm working on. Trust me. I have, diagnosed with ADHD. My mind's all over the place. So just work with me a little bit. But I am working on it.
No problem, brother. Do you is it something that you want to add to about the topic? Are Black Americans too forgiving? Are you that company?
I don't think that we should change that. We shouldn't change that about our personalities. But being forgiving is also being loving. It's like if you have children, you discipline them because you love them. You don't discipline because you hate them or anything else like that. It's out of love and just out of respect, because you don't do that to your elders. You don't cut down your elders. You don't do those type of things. But before I run on, actually I'm not gonna run on. I'm just gonna leave with this: slow and steady always wins the race. That's all I gotta say. We have a lot to work with, and there's a lot that we gotta get through. We will get to it. We will reach the promised land, but it's not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of hurdles that we have to go through as a people to get over this. But I see everyone working towards it. We're on the right path, and that's the path that we need to stick to. Eventually we will liberate ourselves and find a new life of existence amongst ourselves that other people are going to want to replicate. They're going to want to be like that, instead of being the number one consumers and stuff like that with $2.2 trillion. Be the manufacturers that people want to buy our stuff because it is the culture. It is of the culture. It comes from genuine people, not fake people out there just trying to be something. But it's a genuine product, and
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I accidentally hit the mute button. Go ahead. Yeah, we can't hear you, brother. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So if the Hispanics are going to be the majority of voters and stuff like that, they're going to make it to where they're going to be making a lot of money. Okay, that means that they're probably going to be the next consuming power. But then if they're the next consuming power, who are they going to buy those consumables from?
You make a good point there, brother. I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and get to the next speaker. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna let Insane. I see you came back up here, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and have a say about it. Go ahead and unmute your mic, bro.
Once again, great space. As I contemplate the title, I'm also given reason to think that we are way too forgiving, and we also are way too prone to forgetting. We tend to forgive and forget. We take massacres at Big Bethel and Charleston, and we take massacres at up in Buffalo. Yet still, I see some people entertaining notions of going to see Wakanda. The speculation about Wakanda. Well, doggone Wakanda until we get protections so that we can move freely. And if people interrupt us, then they suffer massive and punitive damage. That's forgetting about what happened there. To entertain or engage in a form of escapism, trying to realize a dream that in reality we're trying to realize. We can't get to true freedom, liberation, going into a movie theater to look at something about Wakanda, total fantasy. So we're forgetting what has happened to us. We're forgetting about this advocacy for a hate crime bill to go and engage in escapism. I mean, take your walks in the park, do what you have to do, but supporting anything other than a film that is advocating in some way for reparations, lineage-based reparations, is forgetting what has happened to us in this country. And I'll land my plane with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Let's go ahead and get to let's see. DJ, you haven't said anything in a minute. Did you want to add something real quick? Okay, DJ might be doing something. Let me go ahead and get to
Okay, brother. Let the folks talk. It's a lot going on right now, so just let the people talk, and we'll come back around. You already know.
All right.
Everybody too.
Let me go ahead and go to Moses. Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, I'm still trying to bring up the Black Texan. I don't know if you're trying to come up the thought process. I don't know if you see these people.
I don't see him. He was up earlier. I don't see him now. I see him. I saw him in the space, but he was up earlier, so I had to drop him so we could just go ahead and get some extra speakers in because all of the speaker spaces was filled up. But if he wants to come back up and he requests, I'll see it. But I don't see him requesting it.
Now they all requested 4 people in the queue, but it's not letting me bring them up.
I don't see it at all. Ray. Okay, I see now. Now I see him. Okay, I just approved him. So, Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, just real quick, Judge Sarah down there too. Who else? Judge Sarah, the thought process. The Black Texan and the company, they all in the queue.
I'm honestly, I don't see him. Like, if you can approve him or whatever, I don't see him. Only one I saw was the Black Texan. I don't see any of them, honestly. So if you guys in the space, I don't see you actually trying to come in there. So DJ, as they come, you can go ahead and approve them. Ray, I don't know, Ray, if you're there, if you see anybody trying to request to come up, go ahead and approve them. I don't see it. When the ones I see, I go ahead and I approve. Moses, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Newstoter. Man, you guys are busy. Great space. Seriously. A lot of great people talking, and I'm listening to a lot of stuff. Listen, I said this, and I'll say it. What the Black grassroots have been doing these last several years, we have pushed the needle to talking about reparations. And we did that by not being slow and steady. Okay? This is not 1960s civil rights movement. You are dealing with millennial, the youth. This is the Black grassroots your family and everything, but guard your love. Don't be forgiving at all. Be very selfish. Be very selfish, because us being selfish and spearheading everything fast, full throttle, being robust, have got politicians, youth conglomerates, people, they actually talking reparations. There's reparations task force. And a lot of these people that's talking about being slow and steady, I know a few of them went to reparation rallies. You know why they did this? You know why they went? Because things have been getting done on the ground and on these spaces very fast. You don't win being slow and steady. Yeah, you might last, but you gotta move, big. You gotta move. Put some pep in your step. Talk fast. Put the blood down. Get some money. Go learn a trade. Go learn some skills. Represent for FBA. Stop complaining. Stop holding up a sign all the time. Represent for FBA. Go learn the skills. And anyone that said, look, someone said that, we shouldn't be using their black dollars. We used to do this. Look, all the FBAs that created the doorknob, the home heating system, the security alarm system, what have you, they needed currency to use that. And still, they were not trying to sit down at the table. And let me tell you something. I work for a black billionaire, and he's not interested in sitting down at no goddamn table. Because once you get the money, you get the power, you don't want to be long. You don't want to be buddy-buddy. You don't want to sit down. Don't listen to these poor people talking broke talk. Go get money. Get money. Build a platform. Learn a trade. Get more money. Be selfish and be about reparations. Don't listen to these broke, dumbass people that just sit here complaining all the time. I know about money. I make more than 6 figures. I know. And I'm not forgiving. I am not a forgiving person at all. No way. I'm not forgiving at all. I'm selfish. I care about mine and me, myself only. Reparations first. I land. Broke ass people, man. Stop talking that broke talk.
All righty, black pressure. Oh man, this space tonight.
Knows I'm going to be the nice guy.
This space tonight, boy, like.
Nice guy I am, man.
Oh my God, like.
I'm gonna let the rodents live tonight. I'm not even gonna run over. Anyway, I'll say this: money is very important. Money should be, as far as we rank black people's priority in America, should be number 2. Definitely, it's very high up there. But what should be number 1 is black people's our ability to control our own destiny. Because everybody in this room, we can name vastly wealthy black people in America. You know, you can name the Robert Johnsons, the Oprahs, Jay-Z. Who else is a billionaire? Kanye West, Michael Jordan. I think LeBron James is close. You can name I can't name them all, but you can name a few.
The guy that owns Worldwide Technology, he's a billionaire as well.
Okay, thank you. That guy. You can name all these black billionaires, but you know where they fell. And this is not a diss. This is not a diss to them. I'm pointing out a reality. None of their money moves the needle when it comes to black people's freedom in America. It's still the same police. All these black billionaires, it's still the same police brutality. It's still the same wage gap in pay. It's still the school to prison pipeline. It's still black women are number 1 in dying in childbirth, and I can keep going on and on and on. But you take a Bill Gates. He uses his money and he wields it for power. The moves he's making in Africa, the stuff he's doing with the vaccines. You look at Jeff Bezos, he probably controls the most major news outlet in America. He controls the information that we consume. So like I say, unless you can look at another example where the Federal Reserve can look at all these black billionaires and tell them how much the dollar in their pocket is worth when they change that, when they change the percentage rates on our money. None of those black billionaires can do anything about it but say, yes, sir. So I'm saying we can have all these black billionaires, but unless we wield the money that they have for power, it doesn't mean anything. And I'll land my plane there.
All right, appreciate that, brother. Let's go ahead and get to Let's go ahead and get to Secret Sister. Secret Sister, hold on one second. We got a new speaker up. Let me go ahead and get to Andre, and then we'll go to Secret Sister, and we'll go to Volvo. Andre, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Peace to the family. How y'all doing? So yeah, I think we have doubts and fears as a people about the progress that we've made. I've been thinking about this. We have made progress. We have gotten to achieve conditions that are, unheard of by our ancestors. You know what I mean? We have made progress, and so all of the things that we see, none of the progress goes away overnight. I mean, none of the struggle. Excuse me. In fact, it never ends. The struggles that society have to deal with, it's never going to be a perfect heaven. We always have to fight and struggle to get better. And so, in terms of the Black community, we have to look at our past, our history, and see what has worked, what we've done to adjust so that we've been able to survive for so long, and learn from those experiences. Actually go back, dig in the crates. What did our leaders, how did they help us progress and move forward? What did they hold on to and believe in? And so, our history is very well documented, actually. And we can see some of these principles. For example, the working class movements in the United States were strongly coupled with the civil rights movement. And a lot of the support that we received were from people who found value in connecting our struggle with theirs. And it was the wisdom of our leaders who said, you know what? We have to work with the white people that are willing to work with us and see past this color thing. Because I'll be damned if the master or the cracker is going to, corrupt my mind into thinking so basic and so unsophisticated and unmeaningful, right? What's the meaning in focusing on race in 2022 when we know that a world is better out there where we can get past this struggle, more struggles that lead towards an even better society. So we see the racism getting, we see the fight against it getting better, but we got to realize that our big fight is with the distribution and the production of the goods and services, the resource, the economy. This is what the labor movement that helped the civil rights gain legs and kind of get society used to the idea, okay, slavery is no good. All of this, outlandish, crazy shit, we got to put it behind us, and we're going to have to, slow down these southern racists in order to do it. So, I'll land my plane there other than to say, we have to be organized. The Jewish community or the LGBT community can do what they do and achieve certain gains. It's the same. The name of the game is the same. When you organize and, does that mean that anti-Semitism is actually over and it's all bullshit? No, they're making sure, Russell Simmons said this on his Instagram post. I thought it was really, really informative. He was like, I experienced nothing but empowerment from the Jewish community. But when the civil rights was there, they were there supporting us because they knew that it would help the overall, we don't want people out here discriminating against because we'll be next. And so, they had to come a long way from ancient times, constantly being oppressed. We Black people, we got to remember, we're not the only ones out here fighting against something. We got to join our struggle and stop thinking every group is against us, because this speaks to that doubt that I spoke initially. Is that can we actually achieve a society that can stop this mistreatment of all different groups, right? You know, it's not made up. It's not a conspiracy.
Okay, Andre, brother. Yeah. I know you're gonna land the plane there, but brother, let's be honest. Nobody in this country has been discriminated against more than black people. Black people, we're not sitting up here and we haven't tried to do anything to the Jewish community, the Latino community, the Asian community, any other community. The rights that a lot of these other communities got have come off the back of black people. Now, the Jewish community is somewhat different. Hold on one second, brother. The Jewish community is somewhat different because the Jewish community does get the honorary status of being white. So you can't have the kind of power and clout that the Jewish community, in terms of controlling the media, controlling entertainment, and everything else, the banking system, not only just here in America but worldwide, and say that you've been discriminated against the same way black people are. I would never suggest that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, brother. You're saying that we got to sit up here and stop saying that. We're not sitting up here saying. Fact of the matter is that we've been discriminated against more than any other group in this country. I mean, and that's not an opinion. That's an actual fact. Like, Jews were never slaves in this country. Jews were never told that they couldn't, that they were put in Jim Crow and things like that. Jews didn't have their family members sold and stuff like that.
In context, though, brother, did you catch my point about how they were, persecuted?
Yeah, but you're talking about around the world, and I'm talking about just here in America. Okay, and let came
from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then they brought a bunch of people over, right?
Yeah, and I'm saying from the time the Jewish people came in this country, they were never on the same level. They were never at the same bottom of the barrel as black people.
You're absolutely right. And my point is that we have to unite around the people that are struggling.
And brother, we've done that. Brother, we have tried to unite with every single solitary group that was supposed to be treated bad in this country. We tried to unite with the Native Americans. We tried to unite with the Asians. We tried to unite with the Hispanics. We have tried to.
Feel like everybody's rejected us. The whole world refused.
I mean, brother, just answer me this question: why are we on the bottom of the barrel? Is it just simply because we're lazy and we won't do for anything?
So let me here's a better question.
Wait, hold on, because I want to have this dialogue with this brother here. So I just need to understand this.
What other groups ally with us? Okay, so that's why I brought up the point that we're not the only groups that have experienced oppression. And so there's a history that we can look to see how other groups united, organized, and came back from their retreat to fight another day. Wait. How can you say?
I don't want anybody right now, while I'm having this discussion with this brother right here, to chime in. You're more than welcome after we get through having this discussion right here, because I had to actually, come in and actually hear what this brother's saying. So Volvo, I'm gonna let you speak. Misengage, I'm gonna let you speak. Right now, this is between me and Andre. I want to exactly see what this brother's talking about, because we're talking about other groups. Let's be honest here. We're talking about when we're talking about world history. Nobody's still been shitted on more than Black Americans or Black people globally in this world here. So Andre, go ahead, brother, and explain this to me.
So in the history of the world, there has been oppression before the United States was even a thing. The Jews, in particular, since we're talking about them, when I tell you they've been ran out of the Middle East in ancient times, they've been ran out of Europe in modern times, right? We're talking about they've been slaughtered, and everything. I use them as an example because we see the contrast over the centuries, how being organized and unified can actually benefit. And the fact that Black Americans, in comparison, are not that old, right? America is a young country relatively. We have a ways to go. So all I'm saying is that there's progress to be made, and that we have been moving in a forward direction because of our struggles, fighting against the injustice. I'm not saying Jewish people haven't, or other groups haven't done certain things. We have a system that pits groups against each other, so that a small group, the majority of people are busy fighting, while a small group,
okay, well, help me understand this, Andre. When have Black people ever been pitted against Jews?
When have Black people been pitted against Jews? I made the point earlier that in the civil rights, this was the point Russell Simmons made, is that they were there standing against discrimination and all these things as a moral change in the society, to say we're not going to do that. We're going to have civil rights.
I get what you're saying, but you also made a statement. You're saying that these groups have been pitted against each other. I'm saying, when have black people ever been pitted against the Jewish community?
It's economically when you have groups that are rewarded in the society and they benefit from the exploitation of other groups. This is what we see when the Mexicans come in here and become the cheap labor that we used to do. They become the ones that are exploited over us in that position. And so it's a whole lot of exploitation going around. And there is varying degrees. Women don't get the same treatment as men, don't get the same treatment as blacks versus, like I said.
So Andre, just answer me this one question here. Who's in this country here? Who's been the most exploited group in your mind, in your opinion?
Black people, the enslaved group, they had a lot of terrible violence inflicted against them. My group, the Native Americans got slaughtered. They refused to do some of the things that our bodies, there's a lot of writings on, Eric Williams did a great book, Capitalism and Slavery, where he talks about how the initial investment that they got to start the Industrial Revolution in England had a lot to do with the slavery, the slave trade off the coast of Africa, in the 1500s.
It had everything to do with it.
Absolutely. So we have to understand that even before then, there were kings and queens who were ODing on the majority of people, making them live in squalor so that they could have.
But I'm saying, but you're talking globally. I'm talking about in this country, and I understand the Chinese have been exploited. Yeah, there've been a bunch of groups that have been exploited. The Chinese, the Native Americans, but I'm saying all of the groups that's been exploited, they haven't been exploited like black people, yet black people are at the bottom of the totem pole.
You didn't hear what I just told you, bro? You're saying in history it moves forward.
No, I'm not talking about history. I'm not talking about world history. I'm talking about American history right now. No, we don't have to put it in context. We don't have to put it. Listen, brother. We are putting it in context. We're putting it in context to the point that you had a group. You had black people that was here before a lot of these other groups that did all of the work in this country, and yet black people are the poorest people in the country.
Yeah, no, it's not. And yet, it's designed that way. They have to pick, in order for somebody to be the king, you got to have a bunch of subjects. In order for somebody to be a capitalist or somebody making profit, you got to have employees, people making the stuff that you can sell. So there's always going to be exploitation. Black people in society have functioned to have that system work very well. In the United States context, outside the context of the United States, it's happened elsewhere. Jamaicans and all of the Caribbeans who were enslaved, they had to fight for their freedoms. The neo-colonialism going on right now. We have a system that picks people to be the mule and the foot soldiers of the ruling class. You understand? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. This is why I talked about our history, so we can learn how we progressed over the years. Is by understanding the stuff I'm talking to you about right now. The reason why we fought is that's babbling, man. All right, brother. You can talk about the argument I'm making, or you can just make comments about it. But let's talk, right? Because I'm not lying to you when I say that. They fought for the labor.
You're talking about slavery. Wait. I would like to talk to you. You're talking about slavery throughout the ages in order to undermine reparations in the present era.
I would never want to undermine.
Yeah, you are. Because can you hear me out?
Framing it that way. But
wait. Can you hear me out respectfully? I've been to Yale. They had slavery through the ages of antiquity, and they do that to undermine reparations. So I'm just letting you know, your conversation about this, saying that everybody's oppressed and all this other nonsense, it's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, so it's not bullshit that other people are oppressed. I'm not saying that.
First off, we're gonna do it one at a time, because I'm gonna go ahead and like I say, bro, I get what you're trying to say, but these other groups have not had it anywhere near as bad. And I will give the Native Americans, they were slaughtered and this and that. I will give them that. But I mean, the amount of millions of black people that died just coming to this country, the amount of millions of black people, and let's not forget that Native Americans also had their fair share of black slaves as well too. And when it comes to trying to get reparations, they're one of the main ones that's sitting up there, don't want to give their own black descendants reparations. So I mean, I really what you're saying here, bro, and it's like you're talking about comparing the black. You talk about comparing the black community to the Jewish community. In the Jewish community here in America, you can sit up here and you can talk about what they went through antiquity or this and that. Let me just say this right here: for the past 2,500 years, nobody's got their ass kicked globally more than black people on the face of this earth. And that's from the time that you had Caesar and you had the Greeks and everybody else coming over there to the raid of Western Europe and Africa, to all the colonization that took place all over the world. Nobody's got their ass kicked more than black people. And I'm not just talking about black Americans, I'm talking about black people globally. And nobody in this country's got their ass kicked more than black Americans. I'm not going to keep going back and forth because you know what I'm saying. This is just going to be.
I'm not denying that we've been victimized, brother. I would not disagree that we have been victimized, my brother. I'm never going to disagree with that. I think we need to really, be clear about what the argument is that I'm making. I'm saying that we need to focus on the progress and the solutions that have gotten.
And I believe we're doing that, brother. But at the same time, white supremacy wasn't built on the subjugation of the Jewish race. It wasn't built on the subjugation of the Asian race. It wasn't built on the subjugation of the Arabs or anybody. It was built on the domination of the black race and the black man, brother. Capitalism was built on the backs of black people. Yeah, I know.
I agree, and he makes the point
in the
book. But again, we have to look at the way that this system has developed over the years. We know that in the beginning, in capitalism, they were having indentured servitude. They were treating the white people crazy. Oliver Twist and all of the books by Charles Dickens, they talk about the life in England at the time. It was brutal, and so they had to expand. It was the way the system of exploitation, right? Capitalism exploits people. And so they were doing it to themselves until they figured out how to do it to other people. And it's been going on. We were the ones getting exploited until we fought for our wages in the Great Depression, right? The whole economy crashed, and there was only a few people at the top, fat barons, collecting all the United States wealth that, yes, the black people started off by creating. And so white people were in these jobs, factory jobs, as America was building its industrial economy. And they realized that everybody could get it. And so they fought for the wages, and capitalism moved. They picked up, they moved a lot of the jobs to China. And so we can see how the system develops. We got to just be there to keep making progress. That's my only message. I feel like we want to argue, but sometimes debate is not very constructive.
I get you, brother, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move on. You're right, because like I say, I understand what you're saying, and some of what you're saying I agree with. Other parts I don't agree with. Like I said, the white supremacy, like I say, was built off of the subjugation of one people. Everybody else called hell, and you're right.
We agree on that part.
And you're right. And in Europe, they test dummies on their people. So I'm not saying that they would take a group of them, they would test out stuff on them, and then they would take it to the general population worldwide that they could. So I
stop the system of injustice. That's the thing. And when society gradually is moving towards that, we can see how.
But it's not moving fast. It's not moving fast enough, brother. I feel you, but it's not moving fast enough. And peace. Let's go ahead and go to the Black Texan. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I appreciate it because I'm not gonna be able to stay too long after this spot. After hearing the translation, everything that everyone's talking about, it's really coming down to one thing. I'm more thinking more towards the present and the future, and that looks like what does collaboration look like, and how do we get away from sole proprietorship type mentality? Because we're never going to have any power operate on an individual level. And we've all spoke about group economics before. We've all spoke about it. News, I know me and you talking about it as well. Like, if you can't figure out what your place is in the supply chain and create a conglomerate amongst your own companies and entities, then we're not going to win. Obviously, there's an order to the things that we need to conquer first, and I focus on three. It's going to be culture, it's going to be economics, and then politics, in that order. If you don't understand who your culture is, which we've been figuring out right now, we've been talking about it, then you can't figure out your economic strategy. You don't know who you're going to work with, who you're going to best identify with. If you can't get your economics together, you're not going to be able to the political space because you have to finance and moneyball that space, point blank period, in the United States of America. So I just would like to see a lot more collaboration. I know there's a lot of trust issues because of all the things that can happen to us in society and throughout our history in the United States. I get it. I actively reach out to people and try to talk to them and try to figure out how to collaborate and figure out resources together to make things happen and not just be talking about it. However, the roadblock that I see is the mistrust. And this is why me personally, I'm working towards operating, using technology to remove that element of mistrust out of the way so we don't have to worry about the trust factor. But I would just like everyone to think about that. Think about how we can create our own supply chain so we can actually create group economics because it's a sexy word or sexy words, whatever, group economics. But we need to figure out what that means and what it looks like. And until we get that together, I honestly don't really want to hear too much about the general term, group economics. What does that mean? So that's all I want to say. News. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm going to stay for a few more minutes, but I'm going to have to go in a bit.
Appreciate it. No problem. Leon, I see that you just got into the space, got your hand up. So I'll go ahead and let you go. We're going to start shortening up these the actual comments a little bit shorter so we can go ahead. We're going to close the space out. So this is what it is. I'm telling my host, don't allow any other speakers come up. Everybody's got their hands up. We're going to go ahead and let them speak. We're going to go Leon, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or six speakers up. So we'll go ahead and let everybody that's got their hand up speak. And that's going to be it for the night. So do not allow any other speakers to come up. Do not accept any other speakers for the rest of the night. Go ahead, Leon, and unmute your mic.
All right, thank you, Newstoter. How everybody's doing in the room. Too bad I couldn't get up here a little bit sooner where Andre was. Quick thing that one thing he mentioned about when he said about us blacks supposed to be lying to we're oppressors. Most of the oppressors in this country have already received some type of form of restitution, which us black people have not, by any means, a stretch of the known. So that's one of the things I did kind of want to emphasize that to him, that he put up his argument, why his argument was pretty much moot just because of that. To your topic, yes, we are too forgiving, and to the other gentleman about we're too forgetting, and also we're too emotional reacting. We shouldn't have to react. We're always playing defense. We got to start playing offense, and it seems like this is why we're having a hard problem moving the way we should be moving. We're too worried about the defense. We need to start going offense. And I'll land there. Y'all have a good night.
All right, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you as always. Secret Sister, let you go ahead and get on real quick.
Okay, I wanted to, it was way back when Brother Amara was up. I am now getting together with a couple of security company owners, FBI, of course, and we are getting ready to develop our own army. They're going to train. They're going to do all kind of things. And
real quick, sister, if you're doing something like that, do not say it on the app. I will say that right there. We know how these people from. You from that area. You know exactly about COINTEL. Do not, once again, say that. Keep that on the back channel. Do not. I was going to tell that brother that as well, too. Do not say that on the app. We know these white folks are listening. This is a white-owned app. Let's not get it twisted. Even though we might have our spaces on here, Twitter is white-owned, white-run, and they're listening. And they already trying to see exactly what the hell's going on. So definitely, sister, I got love for you. Just be careful. And if you're doing that, do it off the actual app. I didn't mean to mute you, but go ahead, sis. I don't want anything to happen to you, so go ahead.
No, I forgot all about that. I was thinking I was on, the grade. I'll be forgetting when I'm on here and when I'm over there. So I'll be forgetting. So anyway, I'm trying to advance some things. I still want to get together with family and everything. But Andre and to me, it seems like what I've been sitting back and I've been actually listening, and like for men in our community, as an elder woman, I look for you guys to be the leaders. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I hear like Andre and Moses wanting so bad to continue with this relationship with people that have already shown us who they are. So now it's time to get angry and say, I don't want to be bothered no more. Mine and mine only. And it seems like they are refusing to hear that, like it's a lot of women I've talked to. We don't want to be bothered no more. We want our men now to say, we don't either. We don't want to be bothered no more. Until we get us together, we cannot come into any contact with anybody else. We need to fix each other. I need to know that if one of my brothers is starting a bank and he say, well, I'm starting a bank. Here, I need y'all to come over and do this. We have to trust each other. Because if we could trust the white man's bank, why can't we trust our black brother? We have to trust each other. That's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? And it seems like we have lost all sense of that. So until we get that together, I really don't want to be bothered with nobody else. And I think that the men in our society, in our, our family, it's time for y'all to stand up like you do, Newstoter. Like lately, you just been on one. You just be like, nope, y'all gonna shut up. You gonna listen. I love that. That's alpha. I love that because that's what we need. We need leaders because we have a lot of women that need to be led. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So we need to get the family unit back together. We don't need the white man system in no form or fashion because we didn't need it before he came over here. We were doing just fine while we were here before they came. They came, they started to kill us and everything else. So my thing is we inherently do not need their systems. They bought all the systems so that they can learn more about us. I've learned that the world hates Black American freedmen because everyone I found out, they want to be us. So put that in your crown and carry it high because everybody want to be you. And now I'm seeing they are now bringing the Latinos to help and attack us. And we will not fall. So with that being said, I'm proud to be a Freeman. I'm proud to be your sister. And I'm proud that we are having these little things together. And I'm proud that you guys are my family. I'm going to be honest because we obviously are making some kind of impact. I love you all. And I will talk to you later. Good night.
Good night, sister. Have a good night, and it's good once again to have you in the space. Let me go ahead and get to I'm gonna go to this is Volvo, Mr. Engaging, Insane in the company. So Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the topic one last time. We are too forgiving, and we shouldn't be this forgiving. We've done nothing to these people. Nothing. If we look at world history, we haven't done anything to these people. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta walk around with an angry heart or hating nobody, but we do need to take notes and know who these people are. We've done nothing to these people. For some reason, the whole world got a bug in their ass about us. They did all the fucked up shit to us. They need to be kissing our ass. We don't need to be kissing their ass. Who is these people? The white folks, they got a bug in their ass about us. They put us in slavery. They've been doing the shit to us for 500 years. Obviously, this is who they are. It don't matter if you forgive them or not. What is you getting out of that? White people turn my stomach, and that's just how I feel. Now, I'm not walking around hating white people and all that, but I want to get away from white people as soon as possible. I don't play with them. I don't kiki with them or none of that. I want to get it. If it ain't business, I'm not dealing with you. The fucking Africans sold us Sold us. They sold us. They sold other black people. Hell no, I don't forgive you for that. No, I don't forgive you for that. As soon as I hear your African accent, I want to get away from you as fast as possible. If it ain't business, I'm not dealing with you. I don't want you nowhere near me. No, you're not invited to my house. No, you're not my brother. No. The Asians, look at world history. What have we did to Asians? They got a bug in their ass about us. No, I don't like Asians. No, I'm not gonna eat in your restaurant. Y'all shouldn't either. They spit in our food. These people got a real deep hatred for us. No, I don't forgive you. We haven't done nothing to you. That's something that's in you. The Arabs, they been had a hand in the slave trade. They were the first enslaver of black people. We ain't did nothing to them. Hell no, I don't forgive you. Who I miss? Anybody look at the Latinos. The Latinos showing themselves. That was us always talking about black and brown lives. On some goofy shit, talking about black and brown lives. That's not our people. Them people fuck their countries up. The whole Latin America is a third world. Every single country in Latin America is a shithole. They come over here and say they want to hurt our little monkey babies. What is that about? We ain't did none of them. No, I don't forgive them for that. They came over here with that. So what we need to do is just take notes and understand that we will never get along with these people. It's not us, it's them. This about as best as we gonna get is what we doing right now. We gonna have to always keep our eye on these people, and we gonna have to always check these people. These people got a bug in their ass about us. We ain't did nothing to none of these motherfuckers. So no, I don't forgive none of them. I say fuck them. All right, I appreciate you letting me speak, brother.
No problem, bro. Glad to have you up in the space. Let me go ahead and swing that thing to Mr. Engaging. Mr. Engaging, for those that want to contribute on Cash App, that's $Newstoter, $Newstoter, support the largest black-owned curation platform today in America, $Newstoter. Mr. Engaging, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, yeah, I wanted to respond a little bit more on the guy that left earlier. One thing that kind of I was concerned about his word usage, he kept saying racial and compared to lineage-based. We're a lineage-based group that was aggrieved as a lineage, not as a racial group. And I felt like he was just putting more words in that was really confusing to dilute a very serious issue. So, like from saying slavery throughout the ages is comparable to slavery in the modern day era, is very controversial and problematic for me. And I've seen that discussion at Yale. So I know that that type of mindset is out there and it's used to tear down reparations. So I just want to make that clear.
No problem. Appreciate it, brother. You can see your boy was kind of like skating around the issue and this and that or whatever. And some of the stuff he was talking about, I can understand. The other stuff he was talking about, I had absolutely no idea. You can't compare everybody's struggle, and that's one thing. When people start trying to dilute the black Americans' actual claim to reparations in this country, the first thing they would say, well, everybody in the world experience. We ain't talking about the damn world. We talk about right here in this country, what people experience in this country, and what people experience in this country with other groups who think that they've been dealt a blow. That blow that they've been dealt is nowhere near what Black Americans been dealt with. So, like I say, Native Americans, you can sit up here and you can make a claim they're similar to Black people to a certain degree, and Native Americans have actually gotten stuff that the United States government has never given Black Americans. So to sit up here and constantly, every time somebody wants to talk about what Black Americans went through in America, they want to talk about what happened during the damn Byzantine Empire, and they want to talk about what happened during Montezuma and all this other kind of stuff that don't mean one iota. We talking about here in America. When this country was founded, when this country was a damn colony of Great Britain, even before it was founded, what Black people in this country went to. So spare us about your 10th generation ancestor was enslaved by Julius Caesar and all that other stuff. That don't mean anything. Or everybody in the country, everybody in the world descends from slave owners and all. And yeah, right. Okay, please. here in America, there's one group that has a claim to reparations, and that's Black Americans. And to sit up here and try to play ring around the rosies and go from here to there to there to there to there, nobody's hearing that, man. Like I say, your opinion, go ahead. You have the right to your opinion. That's you. But no, every group, it's no way that these groups that was worse off than Black people came here and this and that, and somehow magically they're on top of Black people. I mean, come on, they had to have a lot of help from white folks to get to that point. You hear people talk about they ancestors came over here with just a shirt on their back and this and all this other nonsense. Yet they're doing better than Black Americans. Why are they doing better than Black Americans? Oh, maybe because something called systematic racism. They wasn't sticking it to these other groups the way they were sticking it to Black people. And these people know this. And Black people know this. And for Black people to sit up here and talk about, well, we've been trying to start, we were the ones that tried to do the minority coalition. Okay. We've seen that it hasn't worked. We have stuck our neck out for other people, and they have never stuck their neck out for us. The company, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, the company? The company, are you there? Okay, let's try it again and see. If not, then we're gonna move on to Insane. Company, are you in the space still? Are you having some connection issues? I think the company he's disconnecting. So Insane, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
Hey, once again, man, great space. I had some stuff I wanted to add, but I think I'm gonna pass because I like to see groups kind of like stay on topic sometimes, and I just don't want to spin too far away from the topic. So I'll pass. And you pick somebody else.
All right, brother. The company, I see you came back, so go ahead and unmute your mic, brother. I don't know. I think the company's having some connection issues because he keep coming and going and coming. So let my two co-hosts go ahead and get in here. Ray, you got something you want to add, bro? All right. About you, DJ, you got something you want to add?
Yeah, I would like to add a whole bunch of stuff, but I think, like Ray always say, we agree to agree. But I think a lot of cool shit was really said tonight, specifically with Moses. Andre, we understand you a smart dude. Start coming up in here with the scientific jib jab, because I got multiple degrees on the wall. Nigga don't want to hear all that shit, bro. Learn to mute your mic, bro, and land your plane. We understand what you're saying, but you gotta land that motherfucking smart plane, bro. Moses, all that shit you saying about a nigga getting money, niggas been getting money from work. Niggas been getting money from the street. They go back to what Black Pressure said. None of that motherfucking black dollars that niggas is getting money for the needle in the black Negro American neighborhood. And I wasn't sure, I think, who said that before. When somebody was talking about, racial, we lineage based, man. Black Negro freeman American that descend from the chattel slavery. And I don't want to hit, I agree with you 1,000%, Volvo. I don't want to hit and be around these motherfuckers no more. I've been working on that like the last 6-7 years. A lot of my white friends and Hispanic friends and Asian friends, they see me talking this type of rhetoric on Facebook. They never come ask me, hey, you okay, bro? Everything good, dog? What happened and shit? You know what I mean? What's going on and shit? I never heard that shit from them. I know these motherfuckers for over 42 years, bro. You feel what I'm saying? My life. They don't call me. I don't call them. Hey, just keep it like that. And it's not that we walking around, like you said, empathetically to any other type of demographic of people. But it's like you said, Tyler, why the fuck the whole, you said, well, I guess, and you said it too, Tyler, why the fuck the whole world hate us? We never did anything to anybody except actually help these people. Go back and look at any type of war. We've been there fighting on the side of Korea, certain parts of, before it gets to Japan, to help China, don't been in other world wars to help the fucking Jews, help this person, help that person. These people don't care about us here in this country. So all we really do got is us. Now, I am going to say there do be some allies that do be looking out, but they ain't going to look out for us only but so much if a nigga don't help himself, which go back to what Moses was talking, which was really some cool house nigga shit you really talking, because the average Joe got a job. The average Joe got a job. There's only one minute percentage of niggas that be on the block begging, or even if they do sell dope, at least they getting their money that way. You feel what I'm saying? So
gotta actually put those in the working nigga position. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any time to sit here and try to worry about if those of us that are in this chat are actually going to go along and get along. I'm past that point too. Y'all, a lot of y'all motherfuckers get on my nerves. Straight up, you know what I'm saying? We have these issues in our family. You know, I hate to do a gender divide thing when it comes to this black shit, but unfortunately, black women, that's what y'all been doing the last about 60 years, dividing our race up. We specifically saw this shit when Ice Cube went on a Fox Soul interview and was talking about contract for Black America. How can we could get some money, Moses? You feel what I'm saying? The black women had to say, no, we need our own thing. But Ice Cube saying, hold up, y'all black. We black. Ain't we all together? Nah. Like, that shit don't make no sense. You know what I mean? And black women, I've been arguing with y'all all week, too, on this note. Y'all got to learn how to be quiet, yo. Be quiet when a black man coming to your aid to try to tell you something that is going to benefit you. 100% at the end of the day. You want to sit here and nitpick with us men, because I see it with other men too. You know what I'm saying? Black men, Negro men specifically. Yeah, oh, you don't know what you're talking about type attitude and rhetoric. But when a white man do that shit to you, you be there peaches and cream and smiling and shit when he lying to you, leading you down the road to the motherfucking shark trap to get eaten up, kidnapped, and fucking raping. You know what I'm saying? And all this other shit. And when you look at China, like Volvo said, we gotta stop buying from these motherfuckers. They are fucking stealing y'all organs. So when y'all look around and while all the black women are missing in the country, well, there you go. Look to China. Well, you buy their products, you go into the hair salon, you go into the nail salon, you go into the Chinese restaurant still, and when you see a lot of these black men, once again, back to that, I'm trying to cause a gender divide, but this some real nigga shit. Kevin Samuels was right. Y'all can get mad at that shit all you want. But when you really look at this shit in the long run, he's still telling y'all the truth even in death. But I don't know if Tyler gonna let you get some of that smoke, Volvo. But you could go ahead. If not, Tyler, good night. Love y'all. Reparations up, man.
Hold on, I'm a because like I say, and I wasn't gonna let another speak up, but I'm gonna let is it Noombi? I'm gonna let you up real quick, sis, and I'm gonna let Volvo go ahead. I'm gonna just say this right here. I don't really want to do the I don't want to do that gender divide thing because I know it's blame on each side. I know each gender feels that the other one is more to blame. So you know, DJ, that's his opinion. This is just my opinion. I don't want to do that for the past 60 years because you can make a case in point for black women. You can also make a case in point for black men as well too. So I really don't want to. I don't really want to go there because that really, at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit us as a people. It's finger pointing. There's more than enough blame to go around. But hold on. Let me cook. Let me cook real quick. Yeah. I got you. I got you. But I gotta get to the. Yeah. No. I feel you. I'm just saying I don't want it to get to that point. I don't want people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
but I'm gonna actually drop down after this. The reason why I'm saying that is because that's what I see. It's a difference, if I just wanted to be opinionated about whatever this shit is. I come from a woman, I was raised by a black woman, I'm the baby boy in my family. I got 3 older sisters that do a lot of the same shit that I'm talking about. That say a lot of the same shit Moses was saying. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it ain't to divide anything. I'm just saying, when you look on this iceberg scale of what social media is, a lot of the women don't feel like they need to listen to a man. You can check any of these Manosphere podcasts, any of these other
podcasts. I got you. I just I didn't want it. Yeah.
And just for that, that's only because I've also been experiencing myself, where I've come across all black women. You guys got these problems, and I say, hey, look, this is da-da-da. You just don't want to listen to the rhetoric of how to solve the problem.
Yeah.
I don't get that from the fellas.
But let me step in real quick, DJ. But I just, like I say, because the space, it was about the Black Americans forgiving. So I don't want it to go sideways as we getting ready to close it out. I don't want it to go sideways.
No, I'm not going sideways.
Yeah.
So that's part of the forgiving thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. But what I'm saying is that each side can also point the blame. I'm sure you got women that can also say the same thing about men and stuff if we dig hard enough or whatever. They can say this about the men that they've been involved with, their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, and all this other stuff. So I'm just saying, just to try to keep it on path or whatever, I really don't want to go down that route because, like I say, that's a whole nother space for a whole nother time there too. Like we can actually have a space on that. So I just don't really want to get to that point right there. But like I said, what Moses was saying and stuff about the finances and stuff like that, to a certain degree, I felt what he was saying and this and that. But at the same time, man, let's be for real. Yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At the same time, Bill Cosby, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, and these are just entertainers. There are a bunch of black men that had money and power in this country that got their ass broke down by this system. So let's not sit up here and act like just having money is going to be the end all be all. You need power to go along with that as well too. Money alone is not going to get you that. And also, man, if you making six figures, that's nice and whatnot. But you don't have to constantly keep talking about that. When somebody constantly keeps, I make six figures a year. I make six figures. I make six figures. Okay, bro, good. You make six figures. You know what I'm saying? What is that supposed to mean? So you making six figures, you don't have to constantly keep telling everybody in the space how much you make. That's your personal opinion. That's your personal business. You don't have to put it out there. You make six figures. You make six figures. Okay, great. There may be people in this space that make $1 million a year and ain't saying a thing about it. We don't need to know all that. That's great. More power to you. Are you out there also training these young black kids out there? Are you giving them free resources? I know you're saying talking about investing this, investing that. That's another thing people forget, that a lot of this stuff we've been left out of. So do we have our people in the investment sector? Are they providing free training to our people out there? Like he's talking about, you get coding and this and that. Like you said, most people have a job. A lot of people have trades and skills, went to school and this and that or whatever. It's more than just about that. So, like I said, I'm gonna give I'm saying Numbe, I'm gonna just say Aquarius. Sister, do you want to go ahead and speak?
Namobi, Aquarius, yes. Oh, I just wanted to say that I agree with DJ what he said 100%. That's just the way I feel, and that's the way it should be. And I'm going to say good night.
Okay, I appreciate that, sister. No problem, no problem. The activist said that's pandering. The evidence is clear. Our women need to get in line behind us. Kevin Samuels, right? I'm not pandering about anything. Real talk. I'm sitting up here saying there's no need to do the finger point and this and that. Yeah, the women need to straighten their act up. And you can also say the same thing about men as well. That's not pandering. That's the truth. But what I'm saying, hold on. But what I'm saying, sitting up here saying that. Yeah, I'm keeping it real, man. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Listen. Wait, hold on. Kevin Samuels rested the dead, but let's be honest. A lot of black men in the late 60s and 70s too, when they went ahead and they broke that integration line and whatnot, a lot of them black men hightailed it and started getting up there with white women as well too. Now, let's be for real here. I ain't saying all, and that's the thing. I'm not saying all black men.
You're spinning the divide back to what you said you don't want to spin.
I'm saying for all. Listen, hold on. Let me finish, man. Let me finish. I'm saying, wait, hold on. I'm saying for all the talk that we could talk about black men, we could talk about black women and vice versa. I'm saying, but what good does that do?
It does a lot of good because these problems are actually happening. See that? So we don't want to talk about if black people are too forgiving or holding on each other.
And I'm saying, and I'm saying, man.
That nobody seems to see.
And I'm saying all it's going to do is all I'm saying is going to further the divide up here too. Because I'm saying, it's an old saying, if it's blood on my hands, it's blood on your hands as well too. Like that's what I'm saying. Well, I agree with that.
I believe, because I was talking to my cousin the other day, that it's really our elders. They just really felt our generation. And he was like, yo, what do you mean by that? So when I broke it down to him, he was like, damn, you're right. But I know it ain't enough time to sit up here and break this shit down. But go ahead. Good night, yo.
Yeah, and Volvo, I'm going to let you go real quick because you had your hand up. Like, please, y'all, we finna get ready to close the space out. So, Volvo, go ahead and get it in 40 seconds, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull y'all code. I'm going to be real quick. Before I had this page, I had another page. So I've been on Twitter about 9 months. That Andrew guy, I don't know if he's doing that shit on purpose or if he's really like a little bit slow. But he does that. He'll say stuff, and then he the type of guy, he throws rocks and he hides his hand. And when you press him on it, he'll babble you away from it. He can't really explain his point.
That Tatum dude or whatever his name is.
The Andrew guy. I forgot what his whole handle is. He'll babble.
Yeah, you talking about the last dude that was talking, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's doing it on purpose and he's really clever and he's just doing that on purpose, or if he's like really dumb. I can't put my finger on it. And I've been listening to this guy.
He doing it on purpose. He came into space a couple times before. He doing it on purpose.
Well, yeah, he's really clever with that.
You talking about Tatum, the cop dude, or the white thick man?
He's talking about the Andrew dude that was coming up here talking about the Jewish people and everybody else, man.
Yeah. Well, if he's doing it on purpose, he's very clever. He's creating confusion, and he'll wheel you in.
Hey, Bravo, hold on a second. He might be a tether wrong. I said that shit the other day, so I'm just gonna say it.
Definitely, he got those vibes.
Bro, you could be anything up here in New York City, bro. I'm born and raised here in Newark, New Jersey. I know exactly who. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. He's very clever with that. Also, want to point out to that Moses guy. His voice, he doesn't sound black to me. He just doesn't sound black to me. He just doesn't. So I just wanted to, I wanted to say that earlier, but I didn't want to turn his face.
I think Moses is black. I believe he's black. You have a lot of times you have black men that have different different tones of voices and pronounce words and stuff different. But I don't know. I've never seen him, but I believe he's a black man or whatever. But like I say, all the stuff talking about how much you make and this and that, bro. If you want to drop some knowledge or whatever, tell us how many underprivileged kids, black kids that you sit up here and you teaching them how to invest in stocks and bonds and real estate and all this other type of stuff. That type of stuff means something. Like you talking about what we need to do, then go ahead and get that next generation, get the millennials, get the alphas, because that's the newest generation, the alphas and stuff, and teach them exactly how to go about creating wealth and whatnot. He's supposed to contact me about doing a black business space. He said that he contacted a couple people, but I haven't heard anything back in a week or so. So, I don't mind having a space about business and investing and stuff like that. I don't know much about it, but we can bring in the experts and let them go ahead and school the people and this and that. But, one thing you can't sit up here and do is if you're talking about what black people need to do, you can't sit up here and, thumb your nose up and like, oh, well, I'm making this amount of money and y'all just a bunch of broke. I kind of let that stuff go to a certain degree tonight. But, next time I'm going to have to go ahead and cut that short right there. It's a way you speak to people and it's a way you don't speak to people.
Yeah. I know like different black people got different, cadence to their voice and stuff like that, but he just doesn't sound black to me. And he gives me that pick yourself up by your bootstrap vibes. He's giving me that. And also, somebody that keep telling you how much money they make and all that, he probably doesn't even make that. Let's be real. This guy might be on Social Security somewhere sitting in his living room. Might be some type of Latino type guy that's he on Social Security sitting in the Section 8 apartment, and he on Twitter talking shit. Just so it sound good. So I just wanted to pour y'all coat today. I appreciate the space tonight.
Yeah, and if you dropping 6 figures like that, drop something up in the Cash App as well too, bro. Drop a $5 or something like that. If you balling and shot calling like that, go ahead and do all of that. Since you bringing in, what do you say, 6 figures a year or whatever. So $5 or $10 ain't gonna be nothing to support, as you said before, the work of the New Black Media and what the grassroots are doing. If you really appreciate it, then go ahead and drop the cash in there. Mr. Engagement, I'm gonna go ahead and let you be the last speaker for the night, and I'm gonna close this thing out.
Hey, so with that being said, since you're gonna be the last speaker, that's why I say Kevin Sanders is right, because he used to talk about that stuff. Men out here talk about they make X amount of money. All you is a goddamn abuser and a user. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're doing all this bragging, won't you put your money where your mouth at? You see what I'm saying? So it goes both ways and shit. Like, I just didn't get a chance to lay my plane, but go ahead, Mr. Gage.
No, it's all good. I wanted to double down. I'm gonna say that black women are a little too forgiving on the double down, and black men are just forgiving. And what I mean is that, for example, it's like the Democratic Party. Black men was basically informing, as well as other people were saying, don't vote for Biden for this record. It was black women, as well as some of their organizations that were weaponized to promote voting for this candidate still. After when overwhelmingly majority of the black people were not a fan of him because he locked up our loved ones, you know. So that's just like some of the example of saying that that our women in our community might be a little too forgiving, but they're not forgiving with black men like that, and that's like a little disheartening to me. I think that can be improved a little bit more. So I can sympathize where my man WPI is coming from. So that's where I wanted to add to that conversation to like close it out.
All right. Definitely appreciate that, and appreciate all you guys that came up in the space tonight, and those that's on actual that came on YouTube as well. Starting to try to do some live streaming on YouTube to try to go ahead and get this thing on there as well too. Not a whole bunch of people on YouTube, but hey, you got to start little sometimes. So I want to thank everybody that came up in the space tonight. Thank all the speakers, the co-hosts, the listeners. Thank everybody who tweeted out the space. You guys already know Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is a Newstoter Twitter space. So make sure you guys go ahead and you tune in. If you can't catch it, we record it here on Twitter and YouTube, so you can always catch those recordings. So until then, guys, we will see y'all either, I want to say Sunday, but probably Monday. We'll be back. We'll have something interesting to speak about. And wait, what's that?
No football Saturday?
Nah, not football Saturday, man, because I don't know. I gotta see what's up with that, but we'll talk about it behind in the back channels or whatever. But until then, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all have again, try to stay out of trouble as much as possible, man. And we will see y'all back probably Monday.
Be safe, man.
Peace, y'all. Love y'all. Reparations.
Peace.